Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the softball complex here on the campus of Valdosta State University as VSU-TV proudly presents Blazers softball. Today, the Lady Blazers take on the Railsplitters from Lincoln Memorial University. The Blazers are 5-21 overall, 0-3 in region play, while the Lady Railsplitters come into today's contest with a record of 8-11, also 0-3 in region play. So this is definitely a day in which either team can benefit greatly from winning one or both games of this doubleheader as Gulf South Conference play begins. Along with Sam Mount, I am Neal Folger. Now, Sam, Heather Wolbers here is the new interim head coach. Tell us a little bit about what she's done to try and bring this program back to the prestige it had back in 2002.
Since the program won the Gulf South Conference title in 2002, you've had a lot of changeover in personnel, and her biggest obstacle is getting the young team more experience and more playing time.
Okay. All right. Well, we will be back with the starting lineups in the first pitch right after this break. You're watching Lady Blazer softball on VSU-TV.
Valdosta State University, Georgia's regional partner, is the cultural crossroads of South Georgia. Whether it's the Valdosta Symphony Orchestra, the VSU Art Gallery, or musical theater on Jekyll Island, university programs provide numerous opportunities for you to enjoy the arts. The College of the Arts annually provides hundreds of artistic experiences on campus and throughout the region, building momentum for the millennium, the arts at VSU.
Welcome back here to the softball complex on the campus of Valdosta State University as we get set for Valdosta State softball. Sam, going to be a pretty exciting game today. What are your hopes as conference play starts?
My hopes for conference play for this game is, to get off a fast start, be the first ones on the scoreboard and shut them down on defense.
That's pretty much how it goes in both softball and baseball. Here are the starting lineups real quick for the Blazers. Batting first, number 3 at third base, Jessie Ortiz. Batting second, playing left field, number 6, Melissa Santana. Batting third and playing first base, number 10, Holly Willis. Catching and batting cleanup, number 33, Robin Williams. Batting fifth and playing shortstop, number 7, Caroline Cripe. Batting sixth, playing as a designated player, number 16, Megan Williams. Batting seventh and playing second base, number 4, Brooke Davis. Batting eighth and playing center field, number 20, Lindsay Lloyd. Batting ninth in right field, number 8, Christy Scheiber. And batting 10th, pitching, number 11, Amanda Edwards. Now, Sam, Amanda Edwards is one of those two returning players, two returning starting pitchers for the Blazers. So hopefully the senior leadership on the mound will carry over in a victory today.
She is one of the aces of their staff and will need to be dependable to get the first game of the doubleheader.
All right, we are set here for softball action. Leading off for the Lady Railsplitters is number 12, Brittany Walker. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Strap in. It's going to be an exciting day as the first pitch is a strike right down the middle, a count of 0-1. Here is the 0-1 pitch. And there's a grounder right up the middle through for a base hit for Brittany Walker. So Lincoln Memorial, Sam, gets their leadoff runner on quickly. That's what you got to do.
That's what you have to do. Look for her to try to steal a base coming up.
Get him on, get him over,
get him
in. That's exactly the thing that softball players do best. Up next for the Railsplitters, number 22, Danielle Soders. Here's the pitch, and it's fouled back to the screen. Count of 0-1. Danielle Soders on the year is batting .333 with 1 home run and 5 RBI. Obviously, the top part of the lineup is what is important here in softball, to get them on, get them up, and get them in. Here's the 0-1 pitch, and it's a bunt. Jessie Ortiz approaches it. Throw it to the second baseman, Brooke Davis covering first for the out.
That sacrifice bunt gives the Lady Railsplitters a runner in scoring position.
That it does, as Brittany Walker is down at second base. Here is number 15, Renee Carter, playing as the designated player today. for the Lady Railsplitters. Here's the windup and the pitch. And it's right down the middle for a strike. Sam, what's the relationship between the pitcher and the catcher? Doesn't that need to be one of extreme confidence?
Yes, when the players report to spring training, the pitcher and catchers are the first one to report. That relationship, it has to be solid.
Here's a 0-1 pitch from Edwards, and there's a fly ball caught by the left fielder, Melissa Santana. And there are 2 outs here in the top half of the first inning. 2 outs, runner on second base, top half of the first inning here at the softball complex. Lincoln Memorial and VSU dueling it out as conference play begins. Here, up to the plate is number 21, Judy Hornsby for the Lady Railsplitters. Here's a pitch. Oh! A little bit inside there by Amanda Edwards. That's something that happens playing baseball or softball, Sam. Trying to get established the inner half of the plate, and sometimes you're going to hit batters.
And it happens. I mean, the pitcher just has to worry about the player at the plate.
Now up to bat for Lincoln Memorial is number 23, Tiffany Evans. A very dangerous hitter. The windup and the pitch, and it's a foul ball. And the count is 0-1. The 3, 4th, and 5th hitters of a lineup are usually the strongest ones in a lineup, usually capable of getting the ball way over the fence. Hopefully Amanda Edwards is going to try and limit those really long shots here this afternoon. The count is 0-1, 2 outs, runners on first and second base. Here's the windup and the pitch. It's a foul ball back to the screen, and the count is 0-2. Let's see if Amanda Edwards can get one in there for a strikeout. That'd be outstanding. Here is the 0-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. What a pitch by Amanda Edwards. And that is that in the top half of the first inning. We'll be back with the bottom half of the first inning right after this on VSU-TV.
Life may not be as easy as pushing a button, but with e-file from the IRS, your taxes can be. So ask your tax preparer or visit us on the web.
Welcome back here on VSU-TV. We're at the bottom half of the first inning here at the softball complex. The Blazers held LMU without a run in the opening half of this inning. Let's hope that the Blazers can manage to get some runs on the board here as they come to bat. Leading off for the Blazers is number 3, Jessie Ortiz, one of those returning starters, position player-wise. Let's hope that Jessie Ortiz can get something going. Here's the windup and the pitch. It's a strike right down the middle from Rachel Ray, who is the pitcher today for Lincoln Memorial. Jessie Ortiz, the third baseman and a senior, one of the captains here, the Lady Blazer team. The pitch is outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ray gets the sign from Judy Hornsby. Here's the windup and the pitch, and it hit Jessie Ortiz. So just like it happened in the top half of the first inning with Lincoln Memorial getting a runner on via a hit batter, same thing happened here with Jessie Ortiz.
That's the job of the leadoff hitter. No matter how you do it, you just have to get on first.
Here is one of the more unique players for the Lady Blazers. Left fielder number 6, Melissa Santana, has a weird habit of batting, kind of slaps the ball a little bit. You'll see what I mean here in just a minute. As she bunts it foul, dangerous play there, Sam. You do not want to pop up a bunt attempt.
No, it's a sure thing for an automatic out.
Or at least a double play. At least an automatic out. Hopefully not a double play. Melissa Santana is known for her quickness and agility here on the VSU softball team. Here's the windup, and the 0-1 pitch is another bunt foul, and that is 0-2. I had a chance to come to practice today, on Wednesday, to see Melissa in action, and she says that she bats just because coach put it like that. I guess it's because I'm quick and can reach first on slapped balls. I am a slapper. Her exact quotes right there, I am a slapper. So let's hope that she slaps the ball into left field and gets a base hit.
With 2 strikes, she'll be looking to advance the ball and play, probably not by a bunt.
Oh. Is that a strikeout? No, it is not.
No, check swing.
Check swing. She did not go, and the count is 1-2. Runner on first, no outs. The count of 1 ball, 2 strikes here on Santana. The windup and the pitch, and it's a swing and a miss. Strike 3. Softball is so dangerous. It's the pitching in softball is very strange compared to the pitching in baseball, Sam.
Yes, in baseball, you typically don't have pitches that rise up and also rise down.
You compare a 65-mile-per-hour pitch in a softball game, compare it to about a 95-mile-per-hour fastball.
That's typically the correct ratio.
In a baseball game. Here is Holly Willis, the first baseman, batting, and here is a pitch, and it's a ground ball straight through the middle between the shortstop and the third baseman. That's a base hit, and just like that, the Blazers are threatening with 2 men on and 1 man out, and here comes the big bat, the frightening monster for the Blazers lineup, Robin Williams, the catcher. And for Robin Williams, it's been an amazing year. She's hit 7 home runs, driven in about 25 runs, definitely known for her power. But here, Sam, she just wants to get those runners over.
Get them over or get them home. She is a cleanup hitter, and this is her duty in the lineup.
You can see how far the outfield is playing Robin Williams.
Yes, they're giving her a lot of respect from corner to corner.
Here's the windup, and the pitch from Ray is inside for a ball. Jesse Ortiz at second, Holly Willis at first. 1-0 count on Robin Williams, and here's the pitch. Inside, 2-0. Sam's a walk as good as a hit in the situation, so.
It'll load them up with less than 2 outs.
And that's exactly what you want. A chance to score runs. Here is the 2-0 pitch, and that is outside. 3-0, a hitter's pitch, Sam. Excuse me, a hitter's count.
Yes. But the trick is, do you think she'll keep the bat on her shoulder and try to go get the walk or swing away?
Let's see what Coach Wolbert has her do with the 3-0 pitch, and here it is. And it's she's swinging. She was swinging.
She had the green light from Coach Wolbert.
But she hit it foul, and it's 3-1. Still a hitter's pitch here, Sam. Rachel Ray, the pitcher for the Lady Railsplitters, knows she has to get it in the strike zone, or she'll be loading up the bases here early in the bottom half of the first. And here's a pitch, and it's inside for ball 4. And the bases are loaded here as Lady Blazers are really threatening here to hopefully blow this thing wide open in the bottom half of the first.
With runners at every base, the right side of the infield should be open with both first baseman and second baseman having to cover for runners.
Now up to bat for the Lady Blazers, number 7, Caroline Cripe. The shortstop for the Blazers, Caroline, is a junior from Americus, Georgia. So let's see if the Americus native can produce here in the clutch. And here is the pitch. There's a ground ball to third base, dropped by the third baseman, but she gets it over in time. But a run scores. And the Blazers take the early 1-0 lead.
That is one of the keys for this team. If they can get on the board first, they can play defense, and their pitcher has some run support and some security.
Danielle Soders, the third baseman for the Lady Railsplitters, almost committed an error there, but collected herself very well. Got her composure up and threw a strike to first base to get the out. So 2 out, runners on second and third for Megan Williams, the designated player here in today's ball game. Softball a little bit different than baseball, Sam, having 10 batters instead of 9, and that been both the designated player and the pitcher pitting in the lineup. So here is the 0-1 pitch, and it's outside for a ball. 1-1 is the count. Holly Willis is on third base. Robin Williams is on second base. And Megan Williams is hoping to put in some more runs here and give Amanda Edwards some pitching room, so to speak, as we continue play. Williams steps back in. Here's the sign, and the 1-0 pitch is inside. And the count is now 2-1. Excuse me, it's 2-1.
The Lady Railsplitters are typically playing the outfield straight up.
Here's the 2-1 pitch. And it's outside for ball 3. And you can see the stress already developing in Rachel Ray, the pitcher, who was just, she looked at the umpire there for a minute and just thought maybe the umpire could give her a break, but obviously not to be. So here's the sign, and the 3-1 pitch is a strike on the outside corner. That time she got the break.
That's a borderline pitch.
Looked like to me that the ump was very hesitant in ringing up his right hand there.
He gave her the benefit of the doubt.
So here we go, full count, 3-2. Here is the windup and the pitch, swing and a foul tip. Williams just did get a piece of that to stay alive.
You have a full count, so all runners will be going.
That's right, even with 2 outs, even more so because the Blazers want to get home Robin Williams from second on a little measly hit. Oh, and it's inside for ball 4. So Rachel Ray is struggling a little bit here in the first half as she loads the bases up again. 2 outs. And approaching the plate is Brooke Davis, a freshman from Lake Park, Georgia, who was playing second base today for Coach Wolber's Lady Blazers. She steps into the plate. Rachel Ray gets the sign from Judy Hornsby. The windup, and here's a pitch. And it's a swing and a fly ball into left center field. It's going to be caught by the center fielder, Brittany Walker, and that ends the first inning. But the Blazers strike first, get a run on the board. At the end of 1 inning, Lady Blazers 1, Lady Railsplitters nothing. We'll be back with the second inning right after this on VSU-TV.
New research tells us the best time to enhance bone development is during childhood and adolescence. One more reason to encourage your kids to get up, get out, and get moving. A public service message from the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons.
Welcome back here on VSU-TV. Top half of the second inning with the Blazers leading 1-0 over the Lady Railsplitters of Lincoln Memorial University. Batting first in this inning for Lincoln Memorial is number 25, Kristen Hutchison, as she takes her first pitch, a strike from Amanda Edwards. Amanda Edwards looks really in gear today, Sam.
Yeah, I think she's gotten over her first inning jitters.
Here's the windup, and the 0-1 pitch is fouled back into the stands as we hear that ping. And the count is 0-2. Sam, I'm looking up at the scoreboard here, and the Blazers got their run in the opening in the bottom half of the first inning without the benefit of a hit.
That's important to do. If you can play small ball to win games, you're going to be successful.
Here is the 0-2 pitch, and it's a fly ball hit into shallow center field, and there for the catch is Lindsay Lloyd, and there's 1 out here in the top half of the first. Tune in to WVVS 90.9 FM from Thursdays from 8 to 10 p.m. for Jock Talk Without the Itch. It's the X's and O's show. Join Zim, Cage, and Monty for Valdosta's only sports rock talk radio program. I've been on there many times as a guest, and I must say, it is very, very fun. Batting now for the Railsplitters is Amanda Wampler, and she sends her first pitch back into the screen for a foul ball. The count is 0-1. Amanda Wampler. Amanda Wampler is number 6 playing second base today for the Railsplitters. Here is the windup, and the 0-1 pitch is just over the outstretched arms of Holly Willis, but it's a foul ball nonetheless. And the count is 0-2. Amanda Edwards is really in groove. She's getting the ball exactly where she wants to on the plate. She's confusing the Lincoln Memorial hitters out there, and it's really good to see the senior pitcher doing this today. She gets the sign from Williams, and the 0-2 pitch is on the way, and it's a fly ball out of the softball complex. The count is still 0-2.
Look for a pitch low and away to see if she can get her to bite on one in the dirt.
We will see if that's what Robin Williams wants. She gives the sign, and here is the windup, and the pitch is high and tight. 1-2 is the count. Top half of the second here. Nobody out, 1 out. Score is 1-0, Lady Blazers ahead. Here is the windup, and the 1-2 pitch is in the dirt, and it's 2-2. That we could see from up here, Sam, was definitely an off-speed pitch.
Yes.
The windup is just the same as a fastball, but it comes in at least 15 miles slower. Here's a 2-2 pitch, and it's high and tight for ball 3. Wampler has managed to work the count in her favor after trailing 0-2. So let's hope that Amanda Edwards can finish it off right now and not get a runner on base. Here's the windup, and the 3-2 pitch is high and tight, ball 4. So after being ahead 0-2, Amanda Edwards loses the batter. And now there's a runner on first with 1 man out. The VSU Music Department presents the Student Jazz Ensemble on Thursday, March 24th at 7:30 p.m. in Whitehead Auditorium. Do not miss it. At bat right now for the Railsplitters is number 8, Cassie Schutt. Here's the windup and the pitch, and it's a swing and a miss. 0-1. Let's see if the Blazers hold Wampton on here first. With 1 man out, here is the windup, and the 0-1 pitch is high and tight. 1-1 is the count. Sam, how successful have base stealers been against Robin Williams this year?
They have not been very successful. She does have a very good cannon behind the plate.
Here's the stretch and the 1-1 pitch on the outside corner, 1-2. Good movement there on that pitch by Amanda Edwards. One of the senior leaders for this very young and inexperienced Blazer softball team. Here is windup and the 1-2 pitch. Strike 3. Amanda Edwards really seems to be in groove here today as she strikes out Casey Schutt. So now 2 men are out with a runner on first, and up to bat is Sophie Dillinger, the shortstop for Lincoln Memorial. Here's the pitch, and it's fouled back to the screen. The count is 0-1. I had a chance to talk with Amanda Edwards in practice this week. I asked her what the most important aspect of pitching was. You know what she said to me, Sam?
What was that?
The most important aspect of a pitcher is not to see the ball go over the fence.
That would be important.
Last pitch was a ball, and the count is 1-1. Definitely do not want to see the ball go over that fence. Here's the windup and the 1-1 pitch. Fouled back, and the count is 1-2. A nice turnout here today at the softball complex, considering that the Blazer baseball team is in action right across the way here against who else?
Lincoln Memorial.
But Lincoln Memorial. Both Railsplitters, both the Lady Railsplitters and the Railsplitters came down to Valdosta on this glorious day. Here's a 1-2 pitch, and it's low in the dirt. Nice stop by Robin Williams, and the count is 2-2. It looked like to me right there, Sam, that Amanda Edwards was trying to get Dillinger to bite on a pitch that was coming in really low, and it just hopped up there instead.
When you're pitching underhand, it's easy to do that.
Here is a 2-2 pitch, and there is a little measly fly ball that's caught by the second baseman, Brooke Davis. There we go. So that ends the top half of the second inning. Blazers still on top, 1-0. We'll be back with the bottom half of the second right after this break on VSU-TV.
Americans are rolling up their sleeves to help each other.
Join us. Accept the challenge to serve your neighbors, your community,
Your country.
Go to nationalservice.org.
It's your world.
It's your chance to make it better.
Welcome back here to the softball complex. Bottom half of the second inning between LMU and VSU. As here's the windup and the pitch to the second baseman, to the center fielder, Lindsay Lloyd, and as she fouls it back to the screen, the count is 0-1. The Lady Blazers got their run in the bottom half of the first inning, Sam, without the benefit of a hit, playing team ball. So let's see if they can do some of the same here this part. And there's a swing and a
Liner to the gap.
Liner to the gap. Lindsay Lloyd is taken off to second base, and she will get there without a throw. Way to hit the ball there by Lindsay Lloyd, just slapping that ball right between the center fielder and the right fielder. That is a good example of hitting to the opposite field.
That's the most solid hit that any of the Lady Blazers have had today.
That is probably the only hit. As I say, they haven't put it up there. But here at batting right now is Christy Scheiber as she attempts to bunt and misses it, and the count is 0-1. Christy Scheiber is playing right field today for the Lady Blazers. She is from Sylvester, Georgia, a junior. And here's a 0-1 pitch, and she takes it outside, and the count is 1-1. Bottom half of the second here. Score is 1-0 Blazers with a runner on second base. Here's the windup and the 1-1 pitch, and she does bunt it.
And it is a successful sacrifice bunt.
It is a successful sacrifice bunt as Danielle Soders throws it across to Tiffany Evans, so there is one out here.
Being ninth in the lineup, that is one of her most important jobs, is to be able to sacrifice runners over.
And now we go back to the top half of the lineup here, and Jessie Ortiz. I guess the pitcher doesn't bat in softball like we said she did. Here is the windup and the pitch. Takes it on the outside corner for a strike. 0-1. Runner on third base, that is Lindsay Lloyd. She got a double to start this inning off. One out, and let's see if Jessie Ortiz can knock her in. Here is the windup, and the 0-1 pitch is on the outside corner for strike 2.
Jessie Ortiz is 0 for 0 for the day because she was hit by the pitch in the first inning.
Hit by a pitch is not an official at bat. Here is the 0-2 pitch, and it's high and outside. The count of 1-2. Rachel Race does not seem to want Jessie Ortiz to get an inside pitch here, so let's see if she stays on the outside with this, the 1-2 pitch, and here it is. Just off the plate. Oh, that was close. That off-speed stuff really fools me up here in the booth.
As it does the hitter at the plate.
Here is the windup and the 2-2 pitch. And she slaps it just over the first baseman's head into the corner. Lindsay Lloyd will score. Jessie Ortiz is on her way to second. She will stop there for a one-out double. And the Blazers score again. They're up 2-0. What a hit.
That was a seeing eye double right down the line.
Just over the first baseman's head. Jessie Ortiz slapped that ball beautifully, stayed inside the chalk line for a double. Here is Melissa Santana as she attempts to bunt and fouls it off. The count is 0-1.
She is 0-1 for the day with a strikeout in the first inning.
One man out, one runner in here in the bottom half of the second. Jessie Ortiz is at second. Here is the windup and the 0-1 pitch. Oh, didn't think that was a strike, but obviously the umpire thought differently as he rung it up, and the count is 1-1 to Melissa Santana, the slapper on this Lady Blazer team. Here is the windup, and the 1-1 pitch is on the way, and there's a grounder through the hole. Jessie Ortiz will stop at third base as Melissa Santana just gets it under the glove of Amanda Wampler in second base, and she is on.
And they're at the corners for the heart of the plate by starting with Holly Willis.
Heart of the order. Heart of the plate is down there. Just kidding, Sam. Here is Holly Willis. What did she do first time up, Sam?
I think she'll strike out.
Here's the windup and the pitch. Low. The count is 1 ball, no strikes. Jessie Ortiz at third base. She has an RBI today. Melissa Santana is at first, and here's the pitch. Strike called, and the count is 1-1. Holly Willis steps back in. And here's the windup and the 1-1 pitch. There goes Santana, and she slides into second base without even an attempt. Throw by Judy Hornsby. Great awareness there, Sam, because that now puts 2 runners in scoring position as opposed to 1.
This has been the key for the Blazers all day, getting them in scoring position.
Willis slaps that ball out of the field, and the count is 2 balls, 2 strikes. So 1 runner already in this bottom half of the second play. In this bottom half of the second, 2 men on, and the 2-2 pitch again fouled away by Holly Willis.
She's working the pitcher, trying to find her pitch.
Doesn't want anything close getting away from her. Here is a windup and the 2-2 pitch, and she drills it right to the second baseman, Wampler. Great awareness there by Amanda Wampler to take away at least 1 base, maybe 2 bases from Holly Willis. And here comes Godzilla. Here comes Robin Williams. The power in this Valdosta State lineup. She is hitting .299 for the year, 7 home runs, 21 RBI, a slugging percentage of .610.
And as a result, the outfield will back up just as they did in the first inning, giving her the respect she is due.
The lineup and the pitch is outside, and the count is 1-0. Jessie Ortiz at third, Melissa Santana at second, and Robin Williams with a chance to get in some more runs for Lady Blazers. Outside is the 1-0 pitch, and the count is 2-0. Robin Williams digging into that plate, hoping to get a pitch that she likes. Here's a 2-0, and it's inside for ball 3.
They're not giving her anything over the heart of the plate.
Maybe
Staying outside and inside.
Maybe Rachel Ray wants to walk her instead of having to face her with runners on second and third. And here is the 3-0 pitch, and it's outside for ball 4. An intentional walk.
You see that a lot with 4 hitters in baseball, and the most notable hitter being Barry Bonds.
So now the bases are loaded with 2 men out, and up to bat is Caroline Cripe. Let's see if she can get something going for the Lady Blazers. Inside for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. A walk's as good as a hit here because it gets a runner in.
This is a great opportunity to really put Lincoln Memorial in a hole for the rest of the game if they can capitalize on this opportunity.
Here is 1-0 pitch, and it's on the inside corner for a strike, 1-1. Softball is so different from baseball. So I'm looking up here and I'm seeing pitches that I think are at least a foot inside, but the way they move, it's incredible. Here is the windup and the 1-1 pitch. Outside, the count is 2-1. Rachel Ray is struggling here as the game starts off. Struggled in the bottom half of the first with control, struggling here in the bottom half of the second with a count of 2-1, and the ball is on the inside corner for strike 2. Again, I thought that was a ball.
Inside, but it was at the letters.
So here we go. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 3 men on, bases are loaded. And here is the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So Ray gets Cripe to strike out to end the threat here in the bottom half of the second. But the Blazers do get a run on 3 hits as we go to the top half of the third inning here. Blazers 2, Lincoln Memorial nothing. We'll be back with the third inning action right here on VSU-TV.
There are people with a calling, earning money for college, protecting their community. In the Army National Guard, you can.
Welcome back to the softball complex here at Valdosta State University. Blazers up 2-0 here as we get set for the top half of the third inning. And the order starts over again for the Railsplitters of Lincoln Memorial University. Number 12, Brittany Walker is back up. She got a single right up through the middle her first time at bat. So let's see if the Blazers play it a little bit differently as the order comes around again. Amanda Edwards gets the sign. Here's a windup and the pitch. Swing and a miss. The count is 0-1. Amanda Edwards looking very intense as she gets back up to the mound. Here's the windup and the 0-1 pitch outside. And the count is 1-1 on Brittany Walker. Blazers doing a very good job defensively here to start the game, Sam, prohibiting Lincoln Memorial from getting any little bloopers in there. 1-1 pitch is a grounder to second.
And
Great play by the second baseman,
solid defense is the key for any pitcher to win ball games.
Brooke Davis, getting over and covering up that ball before it had a chance to get into right field. Up next for the Railsplitters is Danielle Soders, their third baseman. She digs into the batter's box, and Amanda Edwards gets the sign and delivers a pitch, and she sends it over the right bleachers, the right side bleachers here at the softball complex. 0-1 is the count. Here is the windup, and the 0-1 pitch, outside and high. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out here in the top half of the third. Blazers up 2-0. They have 4 hits on the afternoon compared to just 1 hit for LMU. So Amanda Edwards is definitely getting the job done on the mound. 1-1 pitch is inside, and the count is 2-1.
The infield of Valdosta State is playing her close to the plate because of her propensity to bunt.
Here's the windup, and the 2-1 pitch swings and sends it out of the stadium. The count is now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Let's see if Edwards can finish her off here and get another strikeout. She has a couple of strikeouts on the day, so let's see if she can get this one as well. The 2-2 pitch, and there's a fly ball. Will stay on the infield. The catch made by Brooke Davis, and 2 outs here very quickly here in the top half of the third. That's very important for the Blazers to do, not to stay out here in the sun. It zaps energy out of you.
They still have to keep in mind they do have another game to play.
At bat now for Lincoln Memorial is Renee Carter, the big bat for Lincoln Memorial. She is hitting .404 on the year, 3 homers, 10 RBI. Here is the windup and the pitch. Low, it appears to be. Appears to be low, and the count is 1 ball, no strikes. Lady Blazers don't look like a team that is 5-21 overall in the year so far, Sam.
They do not. They are excited to get into conference play and start with a fresh record.
The 1-0 pitch is up tight and high, and the count is 2-0. You and I are both hoping, Sam, that the Blazers can regain that form that won them the conference championship back in 2002. Here is a 2-0 pitch. It's a strike on the inside corner, 2-1. Great position there by Edwards.
But with the new coaching staff and very young players, that is a distant memory for this softball program.
Starting up fresh, starting anew here at VSU. The 2-1 pitch is low and inside, and the count is 3-1 on Carter. Judy Hornsby is on deck. Tiffany Evans is in the hole.
Look for her to have the green light coming up on the 3-1 count.
Let's see if that happens here. And it's strike 2. Wow. Renee Carter definitely disagreed with that call.
You can tell by her body language, she definitely did not think that was a strike.
Umpires calling it both ways this afternoon, which is nice. So here we go. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. And she ropes it foul, just foul, down the right field line. Attempting to maybe surprise the Lady Blazers there a little bit, having Renee Carter played a little bit toward the left instead of right. The Center for International Programs invites everyone to a festival of foreign films Wednesday, March 22nd at 7 p.m. The Center for International Programs will be showing Farewell My Concubine in the Science Building Auditorium. Come and enjoy. That is Wednesday, March 22nd at 7 p.m. in the Science Building Auditorium.
Robin Williams just came out to calm down her pitcher, Amanda Edwards.
Here is the 3-2 pitch. And she sends it into the gap. And there, oh, Melissa Santana cannot make the catch. But great defense there by Lindsay Lloyd to keep Carter at first base.
Anytime you can hit it to a gap and hold the player to a single, it's a good defense.
Melissa Santana with her speed almost caught up with that ball. That would have been a remarkable catch had Santana reached out and grabbed that ball. But great persistence there by Lindsay Lloyd, knowing that if Melissa Santana didn't get it, her momentum was going to carry her over into the center field part of the outfield and prohibit her from getting back quickly. So 2 men are out, one man is on here, and the pitch is a strike to Judy Hornsby, the catcher for the Railsplitters. Top half of the third here. Blazers up 2-0. Renee Carter is on at first. Judy Hornsby is at the plate, and the 0-1 pitch is a foul ball just in front of home plate, and the count is 0-2.
With her being the cleanup hitter for Lincoln Memorial, the Blazer outfield is standing back.
Just like for Robin Williams. Amanda gets the sign, and here is the 0-2 pitch, and it's outside and high, and the count is 1 ball, 2 strikes here. Judy Hornsby, the catcher for Lincoln Memorial, is hitting .362 on the year with 7 home runs, 20 RBI, and they're almost turned around on that pitch, but instead hit a foul ball. The count remains 1-2.
I'd look for something inside to the catcher because of her size and her power. You don't want to put anything out over the plate that she can handle.
Edwards gets the sign from Williams, the windup and the 1-2 pitch. She hits it right to Jessie Ortiz. And that is that. In the top half of the third inning, Blazers up 2-0. We'll be back with the bottom half of the third right here on VSU-TV.
Want to leave your mark on the world? Do something you'll feel good about. Help stamp out poverty. Care, where the end of poverty begins.
Welcome back here on VSU-TV. Bottom half of the third inning here at the softball complex. VSU on top 2-0 as Megan Williams, the designated player, steps in to face Rachel Ray. She winds up, and here's a pitch. And it's a foul ball just outside the foul line towards third base. Rachel Ray seems to be struggling here in the first couple of innings, allowing 2 runs on 4 hits, and she's beginning into some very high counts here, Sam.
And she has left a lot of people on base.
Which is both a good thing and a bad thing.
And a bad thing, yes.
She gets the sign from Hornsby. Here's the windup and the 0-1 pitch. It's a swing and oh, wow, she almost caught that. But she did not. That's a great attempt, though. Great try by Judy Hornsby, and the count is 0-2. Sam, in both softball and baseball, if anybody catches a ball in foul territory, that is considered an out.
Yes, it is, and it is hard for the catcher in this bright sun and this this afternoon to be able to spot the ball.
Hornsby gives a sign. Ray's shaking off a few here. Finds one up. Timeout. Time is called by Megan Williams. Took too long. Megan Williams electing to step out, recollect her composure, and then step back in. Ray gets the sign and the 1-2 pitch. Did she go? She did not go. So the count is 2-2 for Megan Williams, the designated player out of Acton, Ontario. She traveled a long way to play softball, Sam.
Her and first baseman Holly Willis are the most coming the furthest way to play for the Lady Blazers.
And the 2-2 pitch is on the way, and it's a little ground ball to the second baseman, Wumpton. She throws it on to first for 1 out. Acton, Ontario. Very far away, but we're glad to have her as a VSU Blazer. Up to bat now is Brooke Davis, the second baseman from Lake Park, Georgia, the freshman, starting for Coach Wolber's Lady Blazers. Here is the windup and the pitch, and she rips it foul down the third base line. Count is 0-1. You saw there, Sam, how Brooke Davis, recognizing the off-speed pitch and the changeup, she waited for the pitch and then swung.
She's definitely getting an eye for the pitcher.
Here is the windup and the 0-1 pitch, high and tight. 1 ball, 1 strike. Rachel Ray getting the sign from Judy Hornsby as Brooke Davis steps back in. The 1-1 pitch is on the way, and she swings. She sends a fly ball into left field, but a great catch made by Kristen Hutchison there to put out Brooke Davis, and 2 outs are now recorded for the Lady Blazers. And in steps Lindsay Lloyd, who got stuff started in the bottom half of the 2nd inning with a double into the right center field gap. Let's hope that she can do the same here. The pitch is inside, and the count is 1-0.
Rachel Ray has to be concerned about her pitch count. She has been throwing a lot of pitches, considering that there's been a lot of Blazers on base just about every inning.
Here is the 0-1 pitch. Strike right down the middle, and the count is 0-2. Rachel Ray, very effective pitcher if you want to consider 2 runs and 4 hits effective. Here is a 1-1 pitch, and it's outside, and the count is 2-1.
She has definitely been able to work out of trouble today.
Lindsay Lloyd is another freshman player for the Blazers from Palm City, Florida. The 2-1 pitch, she swings and foul tips it back, and the count is 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. Lady Blazers on top 2-0 here against Lincoln Memorial. Here is the windup and the pitch. High and outside, and it's full. As you see Rachel Ray's frustration hitting the dirt with her fist after that pitch was done. She wants this to be an out. Here is the windup and the full count pitch. Strike 3 called. Definitely disappointing there for Lindsay Lloyd, but that ends the 3rd inning of play here at the softball complex. We'll be back with the top half of the 4th inning right after this on VSU-TV.
This is not a race. On the road to financial independence, the winners are the ones who stay the course. Learn more about securing your financial future and choose to save. It will pay off in the long run.
Welcome back to Blazers softball here on VSU-TV. Top half of the 4th inning. Blazers on top 2-0. We have passed the halfway point here, Sam. Halfway home. And I must say, I like the score so far.
3 out of the 5 Blazers wins have been by shutout, so this is a good sign for the Lady Blazers.
Amanda Edwards has been sharp as a tack here this afternoon as Tiffany Evans steps into bat here as we get the top half of the 4th going with a foul ball that is caught by Holly Willis. What a catch. What a catch by Holly Evans, the first baseman, the junior from Elkhorn, Nebraska.
That is a true gift for the pitcher, Amanda Edwards.
Flashing the glove there. And 1 man is out quickly here. 1 pitch, 1 out. We'll take that all the time. Here is Kristen Hutchison stepping into the plate. Edwards gets the sign, and the pitch is a fly ball that is going to be caught by the right fielder, Christy Scheiber. Another great defensive play there by the Blazers.
They're putting a defensive clinic on today. Schreiber, in the catch at right field, did a good job of covering with her throwing hand to make sure she trapped the ball in the glove.
2 pitches, 2 outs. Can't argue with that. Up to bat now for the Railsplitters is Amanda Wampler. Here's a pitch on the way, and there's a fly ball into center field. Hit fairly deep, but the center fielder Lindsay Lloyd is there, and 3 pitches, 3 outs.
1-2-3 inning.
Heather Wolbers is definitely excited as we go to the bottom half of the 4th inning here, and we will be back on VSU TV.
This is me, and my mom and dad, and my big brother Alex. And this is the day we all got to forget I was sick. This was my wish.
Welcome back here on VSU TV. Bottom half of the 4th inning here. Blazers up 2-0 with Christy Scheiber, the last batter, leading off for the Lady Blazers. Here is the windup from Rachel Ray, And the pitch on the way, and she swings a foul. Count is 0-1. Christy Scheiber is a junior from Sylvester, Georgia. She's one of the experienced players, one of the older players on this VSU program, VSU team. Here is the windup, and the 0-1 pitch. Outside. 1 ball, 1 strike is the count to Scheiber. Here is the 1-1 pitch, and she swings and sends a fly ball into shallow right field. The right fielder calls off the second baseman and makes the catch. That will be Cassie Schutt who makes that catch. 1 out here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. And back to the top of the order we go. And Jessie Ortiz, who has a double and an RBI to her credit this afternoon, knocking in one of those 2 Blazer runs. As she waits for the pitch, and it's a strike, a curveball, a slow curveball in there for a strike from Rachel Ray. Jessie Ortiz, a senior on this Blazer team. As she waits the pitch again, and it's outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jessie Ortiz is a senior from Valrico, Florida. So let's see if she can get another hit to help start another Blazer rally here. The 1-1 pitch is outside, and the count is 2 balls and 1 strike.
The center fielder is shading a little bit toward the right field side, which opens up the gap between and left center.
That's where she hit her double first time. So let's see if she goes back there again. Fouled back to the screen by Jessie Ortiz. The count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Like you said, Sam, there is a huge gap in left center field. Let's see if Jessie Ortiz can manage to get one in there. Here's the windup and the 2-2 pitch. Slow curveball outside for a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Rachel Ray is definitely having a tough time out there this afternoon compared to her counterpart, Amanda Edwards. Full count pitch, and it hit her. So for the second time this afternoon, Jessie Ortiz gets on base via being hit.
Rachel Ray is having some control problems, and that could be a testament to her high pitch count.
They're saying now that she ran into the pitch, that she let the pitch hit her instead of getting out of the way, so it is still a full count here. Just like in baseball, you cannot dive into a pitch and let it hit you. You have to manage to get out of the way somehow.
Yes, but you have to commend her for trying anything she can to get on base.
And she sends a ground ball to the third baseman, Soders, who in turn flips it over to Tiffany Evans for the second out of play. So Jessie Ortiz, after getting on base with what looked like a hit by pitch, has now been, it looks like she has been ejected from the game. As we have a break here, United Hospice is seeking volunteers to befriend individuals with life-limiting diseases. If you are interested in participating in this service, call Maria McQueen with United Hospice at 242-1187. Seems like the umpire is having a talk there with head coach Wolbers. As soon as we figure out what the problem is, we will relay it to you. So Sam, today here in this first game of a doubleheader, the Blazers have definitely come out on fire. What do they need to do to try and maintain this for the rest of the game and for the next game?
The key is going to be defense. If they can, play good defense, and and the pitchers can keep the runners at bay, and the other hitters at bay, they should be fine.
Good defense is always a key in any sport that you play, especially in softball where errors come back and sometimes nip you. If you were a member of the VSU class of 1955, then it's time to get ready for your 50th class reunion. The reunion will be held April 22nd and 23rd. For registration information about the reunion, call the VSU Alumni Association at 333-5797.
the Lincoln Memorial defense is holding around their struggling pitcher, Rachel Ray. Hopefully they can they're going to try to calm her down and get her situated.
Now, Rachel Ray hasn't pitched a terrible ball game here today, Sam. It's just been that she's been overshadowed by a marvelous performance by Amanda Edwards.
I can say the Lady Blazers are doing well in all facets of the game today.
I believe we are about ready to get back to some softball action here as Holly Willis prepares to step into the plate. Oh no, excuse me, it's not Holly Willis, it's Melissa Santana. Tune in to cable channel 11 for News 11 in Focus, Thursdays live at 10 and tape delayed at 10 for the latest national, state, and local news brought to you by the students of the mass media area. That's News 11 every Thursday at 3 and 10 on VSU-TV, channel 11. There was a great interview on a couple of days ago with head football coach Chris Hatcher on VSU-TV. Looking forward to football season getting going again, but more excited about softball going on right now.
Yes. We have to see if this break has interrupted either of the team's momentum.
I see somebody warming up in the Blazers bullpen right now. It appears to be number 12, Elske Tehope, the 5'8 junior from the Netherlands. So let's see if something is going wrong here. Join the VSU Counseling Center for their latest seminar, Time Management and Concentration. The seminar will be held March 22nd at 4 p.m. in the University Center Dogwood Room. For more information, call 333-5940.
We have just gotten word in the booth that Jesse Ortiz has just been ejected for arguing with the ump.
So that was the delay in action there as Melissa Santana steps in, misses the bunt, and the count is 0-1. We thought we saw the umpire give the old heave-ho sign to Jesse Ortiz. Now it is clear Jesse Ortiz is out for the remainder of the ball game. Here is the wind-up from Ray and the 0-1 pitch on the way, and there's a bunt, and she is safe on the play. That is exactly what we were talking about. Melissa Santana is a speedy runner.
When you have her speed, the best asset you have is just getting the ball down and running it out.
So now there is a runner on first base with 2 men out for Holly Willis. Here is winded by Ray and the pitch. And it's high and outside, 1 ball, no strikes. Let's see if that long break in between pitches managed to get into LMU or our head here this afternoon. Holly Willis ropes one into left field, but it's caught by the left fielder, Kristen Hutchison. So we will go to the top half of the 5th here with the Blazers on top, 2-0. We'll be back on VSU TV right after this.
For a free exercise guide for folks over 50, call 1-800-222-2225.
Welcome back here on VSU TV. Top half of the 5th here at the softball complex. 2-0 Blazers on top of the Lincoln Memorial University Railsplitters.
After Jesse Ortiz was ejected for arguing with the ump, Robin Williams has moved from catcher to third, and Meg Williams has moved into to catch.
So Jesse Ortiz, once again, ejected for arguing with the umpire after she wanted to get on base after being hit by a pitch, but the umpire said she leaned into it. And so after coming back and grounding out to first, she had a few words with the umpire coming back to the dugout, and the umpire promptly tossed her out. So here we go. Top half of the 5th, and the first pitch is a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Is that going to change the momentum any at all for the Blazers, Sam?
The key is going to be for Amanda Edwards and Michelle Williams to get their signs and communication down.
Here is the 1-0 pitch, and there's a little looper that's caught by the shortstop, Caroline Cripe. Great play there by the junior from Americus, Georgia. Defense wins, like we said, Sam, and so far, no errors and 2 hits, so the Blazers are definitely doing their part to hopefully get a win this afternoon.
Shortstop number 19, Sophie Dillinger.
Here at bat now is Sophie Dillinger as she waits for the pitch, and it's a strike on the inside corner. 1 ball, no strike. Amanda Edwards still out there throwing gas this afternoon. She's been on fire this today. Here is the 0-1 pitch, and there's a fly ball into short center field that's going to be caught by the center fielder Lindsay Lloyd for the second out here in the top half of the 5th inning. Blazers definitely getting it done out in the field.
That was good communication by the center fielder Lloyd to call off Brooke Davis.
Now the Lincoln Memorial goes back to the top of their lineup with Brittany Walker. Here is the windup from Amanda and the pitch, and there's a strike right down the middle. 0-1 is the count. Here is the windup, and the 0-1 pitch is a grounder through Amanda Edwards, but caught by the second baseman, Brooke Davis, and thrown on to first. Inning over just like that. And so, as we go to the bottom half of the 5th here, the score is 2-0 Blazers. We'll be back with more action on VSU-TV right after this.
What happens to your nest egg if trouble strikes? There is no insurance if you lose money in the market, but there is help if your broker goes out of business. Take the time to learn more about the Securities Investor Protection Corporation.
Welcome back here on VSU-TV. Bottom half of the 5th inning, 2-0 Blazers as Robin Williams steps into the plate and takes a slow curveball down low for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Rachel Ray still out there for the Lady Railsplitters pitching as she's allowed 2 runs on 5 hits and doesn't appear to be in a groove, so to speak, today, as that is the second straight ball she has thrown to Robin Williams. The count is 2-0. Robin Williams steps back in the 2-0 pitch, and she grounds it foul down the left field line. The count is 2-1 on the play. Valdosta State doing a very good job of balancing little bloop hits and line drives for doubles here today, Sam.
And on the defensive side, they've been doing a clinic on defense.
Here is the windup and the 2-1 pitch. Outside and low, and the count is 3-1 on Robin Williams. Maybe we're seeing another intentional walk here to avoid having to face the monster of the VSU lineup.
I think it's more of having control problems. They're way outside the pitches that she is throwing.
There's a ground ball to shortstop. Sophie Dillinger throws it on time, and there is 1 out here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Next up for the Lady Blazers is Caroline Cripe. She's been having some really good plate production here this afternoon and has also helped out with a glove. Here is the windup and the pitch. Just inside. And the count is 1 ball, no strikes on Cripe. Rachel Ray gets the sign from Judy Hornsby. Winds up and the pitch. Swings and fouls it out into the Blazer dugout. Almost took out some Lady Blazers there, but unfortunately nobody was hurt, and the count is 1-1. Bottom half of the 5th here, 2-0 Blazers on top. Here is the windup by Rachel Ray and the 1-1 pitch. Curveball low and outside, and the count is 2-1.
Surprisingly, Lincoln Memorial has not been warming up another pitcher.
Here's a 2-1 pitch, and there's a grounder to the third. It's a foul ball. They're going to go through with it anyway, just to be safe. That's always a good thing to do. If you're uncertain about whether a ball is foul or fair, throw it out anyway.
Yes, it is.
Make sure that you get that out, even if it's not an out. The count is 2-2 here on Caroline Cripe. Rachel Ray gets the sign from Hornsby. Winds up and the pitch. And there's a rope foul. The count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. If you've just joined us, Jessie Ortiz has been thrown out of the ball game for arguing with the umpire. The starting third baseman did not like the fact that she was not allowed base, being hit by a pitch, and expressed her opinion to the umpire, who in turn expressed his opinion. Here's a 2-2 count, and there's a fly ball to center field and deep. Back goes, it's gone. It's a home run for Kailyn Cripe, as the Blazers get another run across the board, and it's 3-0 Lady Blazers.
That ball appeared to be at least 210 feet just over the left center fence.
Oh, very good approach of hitting there by Kailyn Cripe. She took what Rachel Ray gave her, didn't really swing on it that hard, just put enough on it to get it over the center field wall. That is her first home run of the season. What a way to get it going here. What a way to get Gulf South Conference softball going. So the Blazers now on top 3-0 as Megan Williams steps into the batter's box. She is the catcher now, no longer the designated player. Pitches a strike on the outside corner. The count is 0-1. Never seen a home run in softball before, Sam. That was kind of exhilarating.
It was.
Rachel Ray gets the sign, and the 0-1 pitch is a curveball high and outside, and the count is 1-1. You can see the disgust on Rachel Ray's face. Obviously not the afternoon she had hoped for. She gets the sign, and the 1-1 pitch low and inside, and the count is 2-1 on Megan Williams. Here is the windup. And the 2-1 pitch. Swings and fouls it back, and the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Megan Williams is a junior from Ontario, Canada. Drove a long way to come here.
She grounded out at her last at bat.
Grounded out at last at bat. Let's hope she doesn't do it here. And the 2-2 pitch is on the way, and it's a fly ball in the infield that will be caught by Tiffany Evans for the second out here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Next up to bat will be Brooke Davis, the starting second baseman for the Lady Blazers, the freshman out of Lake Park, Georgia, highly recruited and got by the Blazers. Here is a windup by Ray, and the pitch swings and fouls it back, and the count is 0-1. Brooke Davis steps back in, gets ready for the 0-1 pitch, and here it is. Slow curveball on the outside part of the plate, and the count is 1 ball, 1 strike.
Center fielder is shaded over to the left field side, which leaves a fairly large gap in right center field.
The count is 2-1. Doesn't seem like, 1-2. It doesn't seem like Rachel Ray is pitching like they expect Brooke Davis to pull. She's pitching more toward the outside part of the plate. 1-2 pitches inside, and the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Now, practice this week, Coach Wolbers just had a drill in which the Blazers were hitting baseballs instead of softballs, saying that it gets their eyes to focus on something smaller so that that big yellow softball looks like a grapefruit and they can hit it better. Here's a 2-2 pitch. There's a curveball that's hit deep, but it's going to be caught up in the wind in left field, and that's going to be caught by Kristen Hutchison. So, with a home run over the fence by Brooke Davis, the score is 3-0 as we go to the top half of the 6th inning. We'll be back on VSU-TV right after this.
America, America, God shed His grace.
Find out what you can do. Contact Volunteers of America today.
Welcome back to VSU-TV, top half of the 6th inning here at the softball complex. Blazers jumping early and staying up as the score is 3-0 Lady Blazers on top of Lincoln Memorial. Danielle Soders will lead off here in the top half of the 6th inning. Amanda Edwards is still in and hopefully still pitching strong. Here's the windup, and the pitch inside corner. Strike. 0-1 is the count. Amanda Edwards seems to be in a groove this afternoon.
She's cruising along on a 2-hit shutout.
As Melissa Santana runs into field at the last second. Here is the 0-1 pitch. It's a foul back to the screen, and the count is 0-2. Sam, we mentioned before that this is the start of the Gulf South Conference play. If the Blazers win this game and then win the next game, or at least split this doubleheader, they'll be in very good shape because conference play is starting up. There's the 0-2 pitch, and it's just outside. Count is 1 ball, 2 strikes.
It gets an extra drive for the team going once they get into conference play, because these are teams that they see often, and they can see the postseason ahead.
Swing and a miss by Danielle Soders, strike 3, and Amanda Edwards continues to pitch very effectively here this afternoon. Batting next is Renee Carter, one of the big bops in this LMU lineup. Renee Carter is the leader in batting average, batting .404 with 3 home runs, 10 RBI. Here is the windup by Amanda, and the pitch bounces in the dirt, and the count is 1 ball, no strikes.
Amanda Edwards is trying to stay out of the heart of the plate and see if she can get her to bite on something low in the dirt or away.
Blazers playing Carter straight away as the 1-0 pitch is inside, and the count is 2 balls and no strikes. Here is the signals, the windup, and the 2-0 pitch. Inside corner, 2 balls, 1 strike.
The Blazers have a new pitcher warming up in the bullpen. It's Elske Tan Hope.
Elska Tan Hope is warming up in the bullpen. Just inside, and the count is 3 balls and 1 strike on Renee Carter. Judy Hornsby is on deck, and Tiffany Evans is in the hole here as Lincoln Memorial tries to get something going here. With only 2 innings to go, and the pitch is a little ground ball that's going to go foul. Robin Williams smartly lets that ball roll foul before touching it, and so we have a full count here. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Top half of the 6th inning here. Lady Blazers on top 3-0. The big bat coming this afternoon from Brooke Davis, a solo home run in the bottom half of the 5th inning. The Lady Blazers are on top. Here is the full count pitch. There's a grounder to third base. Nice play by Robin Williams, but she overthrows Holly Willis there. That will most likely be an error on Robin Williams.
That has been the first defensive miscue of the afternoon for the Lady Blazers.
That is indeed an error on Robin Williams. You can credit that to the fact that she has been catching for 4 innings and might not exactly be in a good position to take charge at third base. Listen to WVVS 90.9 FM Sundays from 9 to midnight for your dose of nostalgia called Lest We Forget. Your host, Skip Gildersleeve, brings the past to life as WVVS celebrates over 30 years of music on the edge. At bat now is Judy Hornsby, the catcher, with 1 out and 1 runner on. Here's a pitch, and it's inside, and the count is 1 ball and no strike.
With the catcher at the plate, Amanda Edwards will be looking for the double play.
I don't think that Judy Hornsby is going to be putting down a bunt anytime soon. Here is the 1-0 pitch, and there's a strike on the inside corner, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Let's see if the Blazers can manage to get themselves out of trouble here. With only 2 more innings to go, I want to see a win chalked up on that scoreboard.
I'd like to see a ground ball for a double play.
Strike 2. It's a foul ball. It's hit by Hornsby. And Amanda Edwards has the LMU catcher right where she wants her. Maybe she can throw her a pitch in the dirt or away from the plate that Hornsby can bite on. As we see Hornsby getting back into the batter's box. Here is the windup and the 1-2 pitch. And she swings and ropes it foul down the left field line. Hitting it left might not be a good idea when you have the speed out there of Melissa Santana. As we saw earlier in the game, how she almost caught a ball that was headed toward the gap.
She has very good range out there in left. As Melissa Williams comes to the pitcher's mound to have a conference with Amanda Edwards, she should be able to calm her down and be able to get the remaining outs.
All we need here is 1 strike, or a ground ball for a double play would be very nice. Here as the windup is here, and the 1-2 pitch is just inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes here, as Amanda Edwards seems to be having her first dose of trouble here this afternoon. Amanda Edwards waits for the sign. Gets the sign for Megan Williams. Here's the windup and the 2-2 pitch. Just inside, and it is a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 runner on. It seems like we have gotten a pinch runner here for the LMU Lady Railsplitters. Number 28, Brittany Parton, is on first base, subbing for Renee Carter, as Judy Hornsby rips that one down the line, and the count remains 3 balls, 2 strikes. So Renee Carter is out of the ball game, and Brittany Parton, number 28, is in at first.
She's in here to put defensive pressure on and try to steal a base and get over and get home for the Lady Railsplitters.
Amanda Edwards gets the sign, and the 3-2 pitch. Roped foul again. What a battle we have here going between Judy Hornsby and Amanda Edwards, the main bat of LMU against the main pitcher for VSU. Go ahead.
Megan Williams again goes to the mound to consult with Amanda Edwards, trying to figure out the best strategy and the pitches to get the hitter out.
Every 8 minutes, a family needs the help of the American Red Cross. Monetary donations can be made to the Valdosta chapter of the American Red Cross at 527 North Patterson Road on the 2nd floor. Blood and platelet donations can be given at the Regional Blood Center, 2517 Bemis Road.
And Megan Williams is back behind the plate.
Action will resume momentarily here as the 3-2 pitch is delivered, and it's high for ball 4. So the Lady Railsplitters are threatening here in the top half of the 6th inning with 2 runners on, 1 man out, and up to the bat is number 23, Tiffany Evans.
First baseman number 23, Tiffany Evans.
Tiffany Evans on the year is batting .280, 2 home runs, 9 RBI, slugging percentage of about .440, but more importantly, her on-base percentage is around .370.
She does represent the tying run.
Here is one up from Amanda Evans, and the pitch. Strike on the inside part of the plate, and the count is 0-1. As we see Tiffany Evans getting back into the batter's box, hoping to get some momentum going the way of the Lady Railsplitters, while Amanda Edwards hopes to douse that very quickly. Here is the 0-1 pitch, and it's high, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Amanda Edwards strolling around the mound, trying to get her rhythm back that was there for the first 5 innings of action, as she was so smooth and so near perfect. Here is the 1-1 pitch, and it's fouled back to the screen, and the count is 1-2. Once again, a 2-strike count. Amanda Edwards has an LMU hitter where she wants her.
The Blazers are giving a lot of respect in left field by playing near the warning track.
They seem to be evenly spread out among the outfield, so let's hope that Amanda Edwards can get it done here. Here's the timeout is called by Tiffany Evans. Now she's back in. Amanda Edwards gets the sign, and the 1-2 pitch on the way, and she swings and she misses. Strike 3. That was a riser.
That was a riser.
That was a riser. I could tell it up here. It rose, and Tiffany Evans just swung it air. So a very, very important out recorded by the Lady Blazers here. So now with 2 outs, runners on first and second, in steps number 25, Kristen Hutchison, the left fielder for the Lady Railsplitters. And she swings and fouls one back to the fences. It's 0-1. Brittany Parton on at second base. Judy Hornsby on at first. Kristen Hutchison is batting with an 0-1 count, and here's a pitch. Strike 2 on the outside part of the plate. Amanda Edwards getting back in the groove of things here, trying to stall this LMU rally. Here is the windup and the 0-2 pitch. Oh, wow. Hutchison almost bid for that pitch outside, but instead held back at the last second, and the count is 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here we go. Windup and the 1-2 pitch. Fouled back and away out of the stadium, and the count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Top of the 6th, 3-0 Blazers, but LMU is threatening. Here's the windup and the pitch, and there's a little ground ball right to the second baseman. She flips to Holly Willis, and that is that. The rally is stalled, and the Blazers still have the lead, 3-0, as we go to the bottom half of the 6th inning. We will be back in a minute on VSU-TV.
This is no ordinary part-time job. This is something you can really get into because it's unlike anything else you do. This is the Air National Guard. Call 1-800-2GO-ANG.
Welcome back here on VSU-TV. Bottom half of the 6th inning. Blazers on top 3-0. Let's see if the Blazers can get some insurance run heading into the top half of the 7th as the first pitch is delivered. And it is a ball to Lindsay Lloyd, the center fielder for Valdosta State. Valdosta State on the day, 3 runs, 6 hits, and an error. Lincoln Memorial's box score is 0 runs, 2 hits, and no errors. Here's the windup, and the 1-0 pitch is low, and the count is 2 balls, no strikes to Lindsay Lloyd, the freshman from Palm City, Florida. This team is loaded with freshmen and sophomores, Sam.
She struck out the last time she was at the plate.
Here is the windup and the 2-0 pitch. Taken for a strike, 2 balls and 1 strike. Christy Scheiber is on deck, and Kailyn Wells is in the hole for the Lady Blazers. Here's the windup and the 2-1 pitch. It's just a bit outside, and the count is 3 balls and a strike. Rachel Ray is obviously disappointed this afternoon by the way the umpires have been calling her pitches. Here's the windup and the pitch. Ball 4 on the outside part of the plate, and so Lindsay Lloyd gets on base with a walk here as the Blazers try to get some insurance runs going to try and build this 3-0 lead into a bigger lead. Now up to bat is Christy Scheiber, the junior from Sylvester, Georgia. Here is the windup and the pitch. Scheiber attempts to bunt, pickoff move at first, and Lindsay Lloyd gets back just in time.
Christy Scheiber flew out the last time she was at the plate.
Missing a bunt in this situation can be disastrous for the Lady Blazers. It's important for Christy Scheiber to get that bunt down. Here is a windup and the 0-1 pitch. She does get the bunt down, and it's a beautiful bunt as Danielle Soders throws to Amanda Wampler, covering first for the out. And runner on second now for Kailyn Wells, her first time up this afternoon, the freshman from Roswell, Georgia. Obviously liking the VSU softball program so much, she decided to come here, and we're delighted to have her. Kailyn Wells steps in. Rachel Ray looking for the sign. She gets it. Here's the windup and the pitch. Inside the ball, the count is 1 ball and no strikes. Lindsay Lloyd is on at second base. 1 man out. Kailyn Wells at the plate, and here is the 1-0 pitch. outside, and the count is 2-0.
With no one covering second, Lindsay Lloyd is running on every pitch.
Or is at least threatening to run on every pitch. As we see there, Lindsay Lloyd at second base represents the 4th run for the Lady Blazers if they can get her in, as Kailyn Wells steps back up to the plate. Very excited freshman, loves the VSU program. Had a chance to talk with her in practice this week. Here is the 2-0 pitch, and she grounds it right to the second baseman, and she is safe at the play. Great hustle there by Kailyn Wells. I think she would have been safe anyway, but Amanda Wampler mishandled that ground ball attempt, and Kailyn Wells reaches on an error.
That error by Wampler gives the Blazers runners at first and third.
Melissa Santana is now the Blazer at bat, and they definitely are in close. The LMU Lady Railsplitters are looking for a possible suicide or safety squeeze, and she gets away, and it's a foul. 0-1 is the count. Would you be surprised here, Sam, to see a suicide or a safety squeeze called by Coach Wolbers?
I would be very surprised, being that they do have the lead, and they're not going to try to risk it.
Here is the windup and the 0-1 pitch. She swings, and she sends it right back to the pitcher, and Rachel Ray cannot make the throw in time. As Melissa Santana gets on base with an infield single, Lindsay Lloyd scores a run, and it is now a 4-0 Lady Blazer lead.
The Lady Blazers are doing what they did in the first inning, playing small ball to get insurance runs on the board.
Here is Holly Willis, the first baseman from Elkhorn, Nebraska. Here is the windup and the pitch. It's a strike on the outside corner. The count is 0-1. Melissa Santana looked like she was going to be thrown out by Rachel Ray. Rachel Ray initially was going to try and throw that ball home, but didn't have enough time. Here is a 0-1 pitch on the way, and Willis swings and hits a foul ball.
Holly Willis has been consistently making contact on every one of her plate appearances this afternoon.
That was a great example of hitting right there by Holly Willis, how she recognized the off-speed pitch, held off on her shoulders, extending out to the ball, and then waiting for the ball to come across the plate. As we see Coach Wolbers giving instructions to Holly Willis.
Holly is a natural pull hitter.
Here is the windup and the 0-2 pitch. She swings and sends a ground ball to second base. And it is 2 outs as Wampler does throw Holly Willis out at first base. But Holly Willis does move the runners over. Kailyn Wells is now at third base. Melissa Santana is now at second base for the big hitter in this VSU lineup, Robin Williams. Let's see what the LMU Railsplitters are going to do as they go out for a conference call here to decide what they're going to do. The Talking Book Center at South Georgia Regional Library invites seniors to take a talking book. Talking books are books on tape for those who are visually impaired or cannot hold a book. Don't just stop reading because you're getting older. Call 333-7658 to participate. Here is a pitch, and it's inside. 1 ball, no strike. Back to the play earlier that Santana did. Rachel Ray looked like she was going to throw that ball home, but didn't have enough time, and her hesitation there gave Melissa Santana enough time to run to first and beat the throw there, as that ball is low, and the count is 2-0 to Robin Williams, the sophomore from right here in Valdosta, GA. Here is the windup and the 2-0 pitch. She swings and hits a fly ball that's going to be not caught. It's going to get a run in, and Robin Williams does her job, getting a single into left field, scoring Kailyn Wells, and the Blazers extend their lead to 5-0. Robin Williams there not showing her glimpse of power, just getting the ball over the third baseman and 2 in front of the left fielder to make a catch. As now stepping up to the plate is Caroline Cripe, the shortstop from Americus, Georgia. Runners on first and third. with 2 out, and here's the pitch. He swings and sends a little dribbler that's going to be called a foul ball. Foul ball, and the count is 0-1.
Amanda Edwards has to be smiling in the dugout with these additional runs, knowing that she is taking a shutout to the last inning, last 7th inning.
Here is the windup by Rachel Ray, and the pitch. Called a strike on the inside part of the corner, inside corner of the plate. And the count is 0-2. Melissa Santana is the runner at third. Robin Williams is the runner at first. And Caroline Cripe is at the plate with the 0-2 pitch, and she swings and sends a little dribbler down the left field line, foul ball. The count remains 0-2. Sam, I am very impressed today by the way that the Lady Blazers have come out and just played a flawless game, except for that one throwing error that happened in the 6th inning. This team has been very well coached today. Here's one for the pitch, and she sends a fly ball into left field that will be caught by Kristen Hutchison. So, 3 more outs to go before a Lady Blazer victory. We'll come back with the top half of the 7th inning right after this on VSU-TV.
Thinking of taking up a new sport? New activities bring new stresses to bones, muscles, and joints. A good reason to take new sports one step at a time. Fitness is good, but exercise common sense. A public service message from the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons.
Welcome back here to the softball complex here at Valdosta State University. 3 outs to go before a Lady Blazer victory here. The Blazers are on top of the Lincoln Memorial Lady Railsplitters by a score of 5-0. A reminder, stay tuned for the second game of this doubleheader immediately following this first one right here on VSU-TV. Amanda Wampler steps into the plate. Here's a pitch by Amanda Edwards. It's a strike right down the middle, and the count is 0-1. Sam, you have to be impressed by the way Amanda Edwards has pitched today.
Oh, she's pitched brilliantly. 2-hit shutout going into the last inning.
Here's the windup and the 0-1 pitch. Inside corner, called strike 2. Amanda Wampler definitely not pleased with that call.
This is what the Lady Blazers expect from a returning starter and one of the aces of their pitching staff.
Here is the windup and the 0-2 pitch on the way. Low and inside, and the count is 1-2. Lady Blazers looking to gain win number 6 on the year. More importantly, win number 1 in the South region and GSC play. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and it's just outside. 2-2 is the count. Sam, Amanda can afford to be a little bit, she doesn't have to get everything right because the Blazers aren't winning by a score of 3-2 or 1-0. So here's the 2-2 pitch, and there's a foul ball that goes into the bleachers here, and the count remains at 2 balls, 2 strikes.
The insurance runs in the 6th inning really helped ease the nerves of Amanda Edwards, who's going for her shutout win.
She gets the sign from Megan Williams. Here's the windup and the 2-2 pitch on the way. Swinging a little foul ball that appears to have hit Amanda Wampler. Amanda Wampler's going to walk it off for a few seconds. As Wampler steps back into the plate with a 2-2 count and nobody out here in the top half of the 7th. Here's Amanda Edwards with windup and the pitch. Strike 3. What a beautiful changeup thrown there by Amanda Edwards. Completely caught Amanda Wampler off guard. So with 1 out to go, 2 outs remaining before a victory here this afternoon. Up next is Cassie Schutt, the right fielder. Obviously, the Blazers are very excited both on the field and in the dugout as the pitch is on the way. And it's an attempted bunt, and it's going to stay fair. Now that did catch the Blazers off guard.
That was one where they really had no chance because of the runner running down the line.
Shortstop number 19, Sophie Dillinger.
Hopefully one of the Blazers was going to get there and catch that ball before it hit the ground, and they were hoping it was going to roll foul, but it just stopped dead in its tracks. And so a runner on first.
That was just a mere fluke circumstance.
Here's the windup and the pitch. Nice stop there by Megan Williams to avoid it. getting to the backstop, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes on Sophie Dillinger, the shortstop for LMU. As you see Amanda Edwards there trying to get her psyche back up, as here is 1-0 pitch. High and outside, and the count is 2-0.
Amanda Edwards needs to just worry about the player at the plate and forget about the runner with a 5-0 lead in the last inning of play.
Sophie Dillinger stepping back into the plate. Amanda Edwards looking in intently. Here is the windup and the 2-0 pitch. Strike one. Strike one on the inside corner, and the count is 2 balls and 1 strike. Cassie Schutt is at first base after laying down a bunt that just stopped dead in its track. Here is the windup and the 2-1 pitch. Little curveball is hit in the right field. It's going to be caught by the right fielder, Christy Scheiber, for out number 2. And so the Blazers are 1 out away from wrapping up win number 6 on the year.
Number 12, Brittany Walker.
The last hope for the LMU Lady Railsplitters is number 12, Brittany Walker, their leadoff hitter, who has managed to get a single in today's ball game. Cassie Schutt is at first base. Here is the windup and the pitch. She swings. This is a foul ball back toward our way, and the count is 0-1. 2 more strikes is all the Blazers need, Sam.
The biggest thing for Amanda Edwards right now is just keep her composure and keep the adrenaline down.
Here is one up and the 0-1 pitch. An attempted bunt that she bunts foul, and the LMU Lady Railsplitters are down to their final strike. Nothing would be better than to see Amanda Edwards strike out Brittany Walker here to end the game and to get off to a great start here in GSC play. Amanda Edwards looks in intently as Brittany Walker steps back in. Here is the windup and the 0-2 pitch. Called strike 3. And the Lady Blazers take game 1 of this doubleheader here today between the LMU Lady Railsplitters. Final score, Blazers 5, Railsplitters 0. We'll be back with the second game of this doubleheader. Right after this, you're watching Lady Blazers softball on VSU-TV.
I got a ham sandwich and some pretzels. You want some pretzels? Nah, I'll trade you some cookies or something. Like what? I don't know. How about an orange? Forget it. Hey, Jay, you got anything? Don't ask Jay. Why not? Jay never has anything. What's up with that? Hey, you on a diet or something? Yeah, a diet. Jay's on a diet. That's all right, man. We understand. My mom's on a diet.
Welcome back here to the North Campus Complex on the campus of Valdosta State University for Game 2 of today's softball doubleheader between the Lady Blazers of VSU and the Lady Railsplitters of LMU. Here is the starting lineup for Coach Heather Wolbers in the second game played today. Leading off and playing left field, number 6, Melissa Santana. Batting second, playing center field, number 20, Lindsay Lloyd. Batting third, playing third base, number 33, Robin Williams. Batting cleanup and playing first base, number 10, Holly Willis. Batting fifth, playing shortstop, number 7, Caroline Cripe. Batting sixth and playing catcher, number 16, Megan Williams. Batting seventh as the designated player is number 11, Amanda Edwards. Batting eighth and playing second base, number 4, Brooke Davis. And batting ninth, playing right field, number 8, Christy Scheiber. Pitching this game will be number 12, Elske Tenhope. We'll be back with the first pitch right after this break here on VSU-TV.
Valdosta State University, the pathway to success.
I love VSU because from the moment I came here, it's just been like a second home.
This place was just like home for me, and I love it. I'll always love it.
Just above the Florida border, VSU is a second home for students from all over Georgia, 47 states, and 58 countries. A quality university degree, a unique second home, a great location. Valdosta State University, your pathway to success.
Welcome back here on VSU-TV as we are set to bring you Game 2 of the doubleheader between the Lady Blazers and the Lady Railsplitters. The Blazers won the first game 5-0 based on an outstanding pitching performance by Amanda Edwards. We are hoping that number 12, Elske ten Hoope, a 5'8 junior from Zoetermeer, Netherlands, will do the same here as game 2 starts. The first pitch is fouled back for a count of 0-1 as Brittany Walker leads off today's ball game. Brittany Walker is batting .393 on the year with 2 homers and 8 runs batted in. Here is the windup and the 0-1 pitch. High and tight, and the count is 1 ball, 1 strike. Ten Hoope is a transfer from ABAC, a junior pitcher. Coach Wolbers is very excited to have her here this year. Here is the windup and the pitch. Outside, and the count is 2-1 on Brittany Walker.
Brittany Walker went 1 for 4 in the first game with a strikeout.
Ten Hoope gets this pitch, the sign, and the pitch is fouled back, and the count is 2-2. Ten Hoope on the year is 3-7 with a 2.88 ERA. She has 6 complete games, even though with a record of 3-7. So very exciting times for Ten Hoope. Here's the windup and the 2-2 pitch. There's a fly ball hitting the shallow right field. The second baseman there will make the catch. That is Brooke Davis. And there's one out here in the top half of the first. Brooke Davis had an outstanding game in game 1, contributing a home run and an RBI as the Blazers won 5-0. Up next for Lincoln Memorial is Danielle Soders, and she swings at one and just gets it over Brooke Davis's head into right center field. And the Lady Railsplitters have their first runner of the ball game.
Catcher number 15, Renee Carter.
Up next for Lincoln Memorial is Renee Carter, the catcher.
She was 1 for 3 in the first game of the doubleheader.
Here's the windup by Ten Hoope, and the pitch is inside for a strike. And the count is 0-1. The umpire here is a bit hesitant, so my apologies if I ring up a ball when it's a strike or vice versa. Ten Hoope gets a sign, and the pitch is a ball, and the count is 1-1. Cripe hit that home run in the last game. It was not Brooke Davis, but Brooke Davis certainly did have her moments at the plate. Here is the 1-1 pitch, and that is inside, and the count is 2 balls and 1 strike on Renee Carter. As Carter looks over, gets a sign from her third base coach. Ten Hoope looking in intently, getting the sign from Megan Williams, and the pitch. Strike 2 on the outside corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out here in game number 2 between the Lady Blazers and the Lady Railsplitters. Carter steps back in. Here's the lineup and the pitch. Just inside. Ten Hoope really wanted that pitch, but did not get it. Instead, it's a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. As there we see the runner, Danielle Soders, on first, getting ready to take off at first hit. Here's the windup and the pitch. Low for ball 4. And so Ten Hoope is appearing to have a little bit of trouble control-wise here in the top half of the first inning. Runners on first and second with run 1 man out.
Judy Hornsby.
Next up to bat for Lincoln Memorial is Judy Hornsby, who is playing third base instead of catching this game. Here is Ten Hoope and the pitch. She swings and sends a foul ball that will be caught by the catcher, Megan Williams. Great awareness there by Megan Williams to take off the mask in a hurry and get that out. As if you catch a foul ball in baseball or softball, it is still an out. So, a very key out there recorded by Megan Williams. Now 2 outs and runners on first and second for Tiffany Evans as she steps in. Ten Hoope gets the sign and the pitch. Strike 1 on the inside corner, and the count is 0-1.
That is a difficult move for Megan Williams to make, to be able to react to the ball, get her mask off, find it, and catch it in just a matter of seconds behind the plate.
Here's the one up by Ten Hoope and the pitch. just inside, and the count is 1 ball, 1 strike. There we see Tiffany Evans. Now we see Tenhope getting set to deliver a 1-1 pitch. And from the outside corner, first strike 2. Tenhope now appears to be in more of a rhythm and compared to the opening part of this top of the inning.
Tiffany Evans was 0 for 3 in the first game with 2 strikeouts.
Almost struck out that one. Almost struck out that time, too. As she fouls it away, and the count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Let's see if the Blazers can come out with the same type of momentum that they had in the first game, where they came out and scored a couple of runs early in the first few innings. It'd be very important for them to get off to a good start as well. Here's the windup and the 1-2 pitch. Strike 3. What a pitching performance by Oscar Tenhope as she gets the strikeouts, and now the Lady Blazers come to bat in the bottom half of the first inning. We will have that when we come back to VSU-TV.
Noise. There's more of it in your life than you think. And too much of it can cause permanent hearing loss. So keep an eye on your ears and visit ASHA.org, the American Speech Language Hearing Association.
Welcome back on VSU-TV. Bottom half of the first inning here. The count is 1-0 on Melissa Santana, who was in the leadoff spot to this game, replacing Jessie Ortiz, who we'll get to that in a minute. Here's the windup and the pitch on the way, and it's a foul ball as Santana fouls it off. The count is 1 ball and 1 strike.
Jessie Ortiz was suspended for this game due to NCAA regulations for getting thrown out of the previous game in the doubleheader.
That is all that Coach Wolber said when asked to comment on that situation. So Melissa Santana is leading off instead of Jessie Ortiz with a count of 1-1 against pitcher Jessica Stewart and for the Lady Railsplitters. Here is the windup and the 1-1 pitch on the way, and it's a little bunt. That is a foul ball. It crossed home plate before anybody touched it, therefore it is a foul ball. So the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes on the speedy Santana.
Melissa Santana had a great game, the best of all the Lady Blazers in the first game of the doubleheader, going 3 for 4 with an RBI and a stolen base.
Definitely a very productive member of the Lady Blazer team is Melissa Santana, the 5'7" junior from Woodland Hills, California. Steps back in. Stewart gets the sign, and the 1-2 pitch is on the way. And it says strikeout by Jessica Stewart, fooling Melissa Santana on an off-speed pitch. So a good start defensively and pitching-wise for LMU in this game. Up next for Valdosta State is Lindsay Lloyd, who also had a very good first game of this doubleheader. Here's the windup and the pitch. And it's low, and the count is 1 ball, no strikes.
She is 1 for 2 with 2 runs and a walk.
Jessica Stewart gets the sign, and the 1-0 pitch is on the way. High and outside, the count is 2-0. Jessica Stewart on the year is 1-3, but with a remarkable ERA of 1.73, which means she allows just under 2 runs per game. 2-0 pitch is inside, and the count is 3-0. Important for the Blazers to get people on base. What is that we said in the first game, Sam? Get them in, no, get them on, get them over.
Get them in.
There we go. Here's the 3-0 pitch. And she's taken all the way, and it's low and inside, and the Blazers have a man on Lindsay Lloyd via a base on balls. And up to the plate now comes Robin Williams, the big bat behind the Lady Blazers this year. This year she is batting .304 with 7 home runs, 22 RBI, slugging percentage of .608. 608, that's incredible. And then on-base percentage of .371.
She is 1 for 2 with an RBI in a walk last game.
Helped to push in one of those 5 Lady Blazer runs. Jessica Stewart looks for the sign. She has it, and the pitch is on the way. And it's tight and inside for a count of 1-0. Lindsay Lloyd is a runner on first base. Robin Williams was a Lady Blazer at bat with 1 man out here in the bottom half of the first inning. We wind up in the pitch, and there's a little ground ball to the third baseman. They're going to take the easy out and get Robin Williams at first base. 2 outs here in the bottom half of the first inning. Nice play there by Judy Hornsby, the third baseman, to get off a clean and strong throw to the first baseman, Tiffany Evans, to get the out of Robin Williams. So 2 men are out here in the bottom half of the first inning with Lindsay Lloyd at second base. Brings up Holly Willis, the first baseman, batting cleanup for today's second game. Here's a pitch, and it's outside for a count of 1-0.
Holly Lewis was 1 for 4 in the first game of the doubleheader, but did have a very good contact in all 4 of her at-bats.
Also had that remarkable diving catch to get an out in the latter part of the game as she swings and misses at a changeup, and the count is 1-1. I remember you and I sitting up there watching her make that diving catch, and we were very impressed by the way she played defensively in the first game. Jessica Stewart gets the sign, and the 1-1 pitch is outside and high for a count of 2-1. Caroline Cripe is on deck, and Megan Williams is in the hole, but there are 2 men out, so the Blazers need to get some contact to stay alive this inning. Here is the stretch, and the 2-1 pitch. On the outside corner for a strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and Lindsay Lloyd is the runner at second as we see Holly Willis getting back in, getting focused in the batter's box, trying to get a run in. As Jessica Stewart gets the sign, and the 2-2 pitch is going to be high. And that is a full count on Holly Willis. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 men out. Bottom half of the first inning here at the North Campus Complex, housing both baseball and softball facilities. Here is the lineup, and the 3-2 pitch is low and outside, and Holly Willis draws a walk here to start her second game.
This is a good start for the Blazers, getting 2 men on in the first inning, especially against a pitcher that has such a low ERA.
Caroline Cripe is the batter, and she was the one who was most productive in the last game, Sam.
Caroline Cripe did have the bomb to left center that really gave the Blazers a bunch of momentum.
As she hits that one to shortstop, and it will be a force out on the play there as the shortstop, Sophie Dillinger, flips it to the third baseman, Judy Hornsby, for the out. So that is the bottom half of the first inning. First inning is done here. We'll be back with the second inning right after this on VSU-TV.
You set your goal.
Now you need money to make it happen.
Get the money to pay for college in the Army National Guard.
Visit us at www.1800GoGuard.com.
Welcome back here to the North Campus Complex here on VSU-TV as the second inning is about to take place between the Lady Blazers and the Lincoln Memorial Lady Railsplitters. Gina Grace is in playing left field. She's leading off against Elska Tanhope. As the first pitch is a ball, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes. Gina Grace, did not play in the first game. She is batting overall .321 with no homers, 4 RBI. So not a very powerful hitter, but definitely a contact hitter. As she takes a strike on the outside corner, the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. As you see Gina Grace there getting set to take a pitch from Elska Tanhope. And here it is, and there's a little looper that's going to be caught by Robin Williams. Another acrobatic catch by one of the Lady Blazer infielders. And this is Robin Williams is a player who usually plays catcher. So to see her get that great jump of that ball shows you why she can get off the mash quickly when she's catching.
That is great agility, especially by someone who is a catcher and spends most of the game, squatting.
The next batter here for Lincoln Memorial is Casey Schutt, the right fielder. As she steps back into the batter's box, as we see there, Elska Tanhope, the A-back transfer with the 1-0 pitch. It's going to be strike on the inside corner, and the count is 1-1. How did Casey do in the first game, Sam? We'll get back to Sam in a minute. As the 1-1 pitch is a swing and a miss, and the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Casey 1 for 3 in the first game with a strikeout.
Let's hope we can continue that trend here as Casey Schutt steps back in with a 1-2 count as Tenhope delivers a little roller that's going to be credited as a hit by pitch. And so Casey Schutt will go to first, being hit by a pitch, as Tenhope probably just let that ball go a little bit too early. Now batting for the Lincoln Memorial Lady Railsplitters is Brianna Ebbinghaus, the designated player who also did not play in the first game, as she swings and misses at a Tenhope pitch, and the count is 0-1. Ebbinghaus for the year is batting .158 with no home runs and 1 RBI, so definitely she's a person who is not used to playing a lot. As there she swings, and it's a foul tip, and so Schutt will have to go retreat back to first because you cannot steal a base on a foul tip. As there we see Schutt heading back to the mound. Or it looks like Schutt's getting taken out of the game. Here is the 1-0-2 pitch, and it's inside for a count of 1-2. I am unsure as to why Casey Schutt is out of the ball game.
I am wondering this myself. The defense is playing Ebbinghaus in close.
As the pitch is fouled back by Ebbinghaus, and the count remains. The count changes to no balls and 2 strikes. There we see Elska Tenhope taking her time, getting collected, getting back in the pitcher's area. The stretch and the 1-2 pitch almost hit her. And Tenhope is now looking at a 1-2 count. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top half of the second inning. Tenhope gets the sign, and the 2-2 pitch strikes her out. So Ebbinghaus goes down on a Tenhope strikeout. So we will be back in a minute with the bottom half of the second inning right here on VSU-TV.
Diversification. It's a pretty big word, especially when it comes to structuring your investment portfolio. Simply put, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Learn more about the importance of diversifying your portfolio and choose to save.
Welcome back here on VSU-TV. Bottom half of the second inning here with no score between the VSU Lady Blazers and the Lincoln Memorial Lady Railsplitters. Batting first for the Blazers this inning will be Megan Williams, the catcher. How'd she do in the first game, Sam?
0-for-2 with a walk.
As Jessica Stewart gets set, and the pitch is going to be high and away for ball 1. Megan Williams checked into the game to play catcher when Jesse Ortiz was thrown out of the ball game for ejecting with the umpire. Here is a stretch, and the 1-0 pitch is going to be a ball as well, and the count is 2 balls and no strikes. Megan Williams steps back into the plate in the batter's box. Jessica Stewart gets the sign, and the 2-0 pitch. Strike on the inside corner, and the count is 2 balls and 1 strike. Here is windup and the 2-1 pitch. Low and away, and the count is 3 balls and 1 strike.
In the previous inning, Gina Grace was called out for leaving the base too early.
So that is why she exited the playing field like she did. And the 3-1 pitch is a strike, and there's a full count now on Megan Williams. Jessica Stewart definitely seems to have more of a control factor than Rachel Ray did. As the full count pitch is underway, and it's a foul ball, the count will remain 3-2. Wouldn't you agree with me there, Sam, that Jessica Stewart seems to have more control than Rachel Ray?
She's definitely a finesse pitcher compared to Ray, who is a power pitcher.
I wouldn't say that Rachel Ray is a power pitcher, but obviously Stewart seems to be a little bit more controlled right now in this part of the game than Rachel Ray did in the first part of the game. And there's a single into left field for Megan Williams. Another good start to a Lady Blazer half inning. And now batting for the Blazers is Amanda Edwards, who we just finished talking about, who is now playing as a designated player. And it appears that Coach Wolbers has an issue. It appears that we have a substitution going on
for the Blazers, number 15, Kailyn Wells.
as Megan Williams is checking into the game. No, excuse me, Kailyn Wells is checking into the game to replace Megan Williams. Kailyn Wells is now going to be the catcher, or maybe just a pinch runner, it seems. Anyway, batting right now for the Lady Blazers will be Amanda Edwards, the designated player. Here's the windup by Stewart, and the pitch, and she bunts it. It's a good bunt, having to be fielded by Renee Carter, who gets it in time to Danielle Soders with the sacrifice. And so now that puts Kailyn Wells at second base with 2 men out. And now batting will be Brooke Davis, the second baseman.
Second baseman, number 4, Brooke Davis.
How did Brooke do in the first game, Sam?
Unfortunately, she is 0 for 3.
Hopefully she'll improve on that as we get set for the pitch. And it's low, and the count is 1 ball and no strike. Brooke Davis is a freshman from Lake Park, Georgia. Once again, this team loaded with freshmen and sophomores. Heather Wolbers is a very young team here. Here's the windup and the 1-0 pitch. Called strike on the inside corner, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Bottom half of the second inning here. Lady Blazers and LMU tied 0-0. Kailyn Wells is on second with 1 man out. Here's a pitch, and it's going to be inside for a ball, and the count is 2 balls and 1 strike. Christy Scheiber is on deck, and Melissa Santana, the speedy one, as I like to call her, is in the hole here as a 2-1 pitch from Stewart to Davis is low and outside, and the count is 3 balls and 1 strike.
Davis will get the green light from Coach Wahlberg on this next pitch.
Here is the windup and the 3-1 pitch. Going to be low and inside, and then there's a walk by Jessica Stewart, her 3rd free pass of the ball game. Is that something that LMU should be concerned about? As here we go. LMU's coach is out there having a talk with Jessica Stewart about her walks. Tune in to WVVS 90.9 FM every Thursday from 8 to 10 p.m. for Jog Talk without the itch. It's the X's and O's show. Join Zim, Cage, Monty, and other frequent guests as they talk about sports for as Valdosta's only sports rock talk radio program. That's the X's and O's show every Thursday from 8 to 10 p.m. on WVVS 90.9 FM V91. Sam, what do you think the head coach of LMU is out there talking about with his pitcher and his team?
I think he's just trying to calm her down, talk with her, put some strategy, and just trying to give her more confidence and try to see if he can get the control back to her norm.
Jessica Stewart is known for being a very clutch pitcher, as seen by her ERA this year. Very slim, 1.73. Remarkable ERA there. She's given up 15 runs and 29 hits, so hopefully she'll give up 30 hits and 16 runs here. As we go now to Christy Scheiber, who is batting now. Here's the windup and the pitch. It's inside for ball 1. How did Christy do in the first game? We'll go back to Sam in a minute.
She was 0 for 1. 0 for 1.
0 for 1. The 1-0 pitch is on the way, and it's a ball. The count is 2 balls and no strikes. So we see here, looks like that they're going to have to make a pitching change here, as Jessica Stewart is not having the day that she had hoped. So we'll be back here on VSU-TV right after this.
We are the defenders of the homeland. We are the shield of freedom. We are the United States Coast Guard.
Heed your country's call. Join the Coast Guard or Coast Guard Reserve, the shield of freedom.
Welcome back to VSU-TV here. As a pitching change has been made, we will get you the pitcher's name in a few seconds. Right now, Christy Scheiber is up to bat, attempting to get some runners in as a new pitcher for Lincoln Memorial is number 6, Amanda Wampler, who started at second base last game. She is also a pitcher. That's a 3-0 pitch is on the way, and it gets back to the backstop. And Christy Scheiber will take her base as the bases are now loaded with 1 Blazer out here.
That's 2 pitchers now for Lincoln Memorial, who both have come out with control problems. Perhaps they are both pressing, trying too hard to counteract the loss in the first game of the doubleheader.
Left field number 6, Melissa Santana.
Here is Melissa Santana. It's first pitch to her. It's on the outside part of the plate, and the count is 1 ball, no strikes. Bases are loaded here with 1 man out. Kailyn Wells is at third base. Brooke Davis is at second base, and Christy Scheiber is at first base here. The stretch and the 1-0 pitch on the way. There's a little chip that's going to run foul, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Melissa Scheiber, what'd you do today so far, Sam?
She struck out in the first. In the LMU defense is expecting a bunt because all 4 infielders are in close.
Another good time for a suicide or safety squeeze here. As Wampler gets the sign, and the 1-1 pitch on the way. She swings this as a foul ball back behind us, and the count is 1-2. Bottom half of the second here at the North Campus Complex. VSU already won the first game 5-0 behind a stellar pitching performance by Amanda Edwards.
With the infield in this close, this gives a big hole for a flare just beyond the infield.
Let's hope that Melissa can do that as 1-2 pitches on the way. She sends a fly ball. It's a deep center field. It's going to be caught. Tagging is Kailyn Wells. It's going to be a play at the plate, and she is going to be out at home plate. And just like that, the double play gets rid of all hope for the Lady Blazers. So they leave the bases loaded and score no runs. We'll be back on VSU-TV with the top half of the third inning right after this.
If I could, I'd change the world.
Welcome back on VSU-TV as we are going into the top half of the third inning here with a scoreless game. VSU and LMU unable to get anything going in the first 2 innings. VSU had an excellent opportunity but failed to do it in the bottom half of the second inning when Kailyn Wells was tagged out at home plate, ending the double play as Ten Hope prepares to pitch, and it's a strike, and the count is 0-1 to Sophie Dillinger. How did Sophie do in the first game?
She struggled like most of the lady Railsplitters by going 0 for 3.
There's a pop-up a mile high on the infield, which will be caught by the shortstop, Caroline Cripe, for the first out here in the top half of the third inning, as now the Lady Railsplitters go back to the top of the lineup, and Brittany Walker, I believe, did she get a single, Sam?
Yeah, she reached base on the first inning.
Ten Hope with the pitch, and there's a ground ball just past the outstretched glove of Brooke Davis, and Brittany Walker is on again, as Ten Hope had some issues dealing with the top part of this lineup the first go around. Let's see if she manages to correct herself in which now as she is seeing them again. So 1 runner is on, and the pitch is a swing and a foul back to Danielle Soders, and the count is 0-1 to the LMU second baseman.
Willis is playing in front of the bag despite the movement by Dillinger.
Here's a pitch, and it's high and tight. High and away. And the count is 1 ball, 1 strike to Danielle Soders, who for the year is hitting around .333 with 1 home run and 5 RBIs. So she does have some power as she pops it up toward the fence, and the count is now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Top half of the third here at the North Campus Complex. No score. 1-2 is the count, and there's a runner on first base as Tenhope delivers the 1-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. Great position pitch there by Oscar Tenhope. As you see, Brittany Soders walking away, not very happy with that call. So with 2 men out, Renee Carter steps to the plate as we see Tenhope, and now we see Renee Carter getting adjusted. Let's hope that Tenhope has the same amount of success as its little pop fly, and Tenhope calls for it and makes the catch, and just like that, the inning is over with no runs scored by the Lady Railsplitters. Bottom half of the third inning coming up, no score. We'll be back here on VSU-TV in just a minute.
This parrot doesn't talk.
Yes, he does. How can this man get a passport?
1-800-FED-INFO!
That's the number for the Federal Consumer Information Center. They'll answer all your questions on government benefits and services.
1-800-FED-INFO, yeah.
Welcome back here on VSU-TV. Bottom half of the third inning about to get started, which is we see LMU do its pre-inning preparation near the pitching mound. Batting this inning, or scheduled to bat this inning for the VSU Lady Blazers, will be Melissa Lloyd, Robin Williams, and Holly Willis. As Lindsay Lloyd steps in, and the pitch from Amanda Wampler is low and outside, and the count is 1. And Amanda Wampler, in case you just joined us, was a pitching substitution in for Jessica Stewart, who appeared to have a little bit of control issues after we had just finished talking about how good she was. Kind of ironic there. Here is the 1-0 pitch. It's a curveball that's lifted into left field for a base hit by Lindsay Lloyd. Amanda Wampler left that curveball hanging right there, Sam.
Yes, she did. She previously reached first on a walk and, just hit that curveball the other way.
That's what you got to do with those curveballs. You got to wait for them. You got to wait for them. You got to wait for them. So a good start here to the bottom half of the third inning for the Blazers as Robin Williams steps in to pop in this lineup. As Wampler gets the sign, and the pitch is on the way. And looks like it was called off at the last second. Robin Williams wanting time. And so no pitch, no pitch. We will start over again. Robin Williams for the day is what, Sam?
She is she 0 for 1, reached fielder's choice. Out on a fielder's choice.
Reached on a fielder's choice as there. It's a strike to Robin Williams, and the crowd does not like that call. And it is now 0-1 to Robin Williams. 7 home runs, 25 RBI this year. As it's inside, does it hit her? It does not hit her, but it is a pass ball. And on the second is Lindsay Lloyd. So the Blazers get a runner in scoring position thanks to a mental error there by the LMU catcher. So no outs now, and Lindsay Lloyd is in scoring position as Robin Williams steps back in with a 1-1 count. Here's a windup from Wampler and the pitch. Inside, 2 balls and 1 strike. I had a chance to talk with Robin Williams this week in practice, and she said that one of the main things she wants to do with her hitting this year is not strike out as much. So let's see if she will live up to that here as a 2-1 pitch is made. She sends a high fly ball into short left field. The left fielder calls off the shortstop and makes the catch for out number 1. The left fielder being Tiffany Evans as she called off Sophie Dillinger. So Robin Williams cannot get the runner over. And Lindsay Lloyd is stuck on second base for Holly Willis, who had a very good game last game. And how'd she do in the first at bat, Sam?
Walked.
And she walked. So hopefully she'll get a good pitch to hit this time. It's a pitch from Wampler's inside, almost hits Holly. And she backs out of the way at the last minute, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes. Holly Willis stepping out a minute to collect her thoughts. Steps back in. Wampler gets the sign, and the 1-0 pitch on the way. Down and in, and the count is 2 balls and no strikes. So there we see Amanda Wampler getting herself situated around the pitching area, grasping that ball as tight as she can, and she delivers the 2-0 pitch. It's called a strike on the outside corner. and the count is 2 balls and 1 strike to Holly Willis. Holly Willis is a dangerous hitter this year, having a batting average near 300 at 291 with 1 home run and 6 RBI and a slugging percentage of 341 as a 2-1 pitch is delivered high and tight, and the count is 3-1 on Holly Willis.
Defense is playing Holly Willis straight away on all sides.
As you see Holly Willis swinging her bat around, getting ready to take a 3-1 pitch from Amanda Wampler, and here it is. And it's ball 4, so 2 men are on, 1 man is out here in the bottom half of the 3rd inning as the Blazers try and get something going here, trying to win 2 games in a row and continue on their winning ways. They've won 3 of their past 4 games here after starting the season, unsuccessful. They've managed to rebound very well here in the past couple of weeks. Here is the pitch to Cripe, and it's low and outside, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes. Caroline Cripe is a junior from Sylvester, Georgia. Close to home, if you want to say that, is Valdosta, Georgia, as she gets ready to look at the 1-0 pitch. Inside and tight, and the count is 2-0 as the umpire calls time to dust off the plate here real quick. Listen to WVVS 90.9 FM Sundays from 9 to midnight for your dose of nostalgia called Lest We Forget. Your host, Skip Gildersleeve, brings a past to life as WVVS celebrates over 30 years of music on the edge. As Cripe steps back in, here is a 2-0 pitch, and she swings us into fly ball back toward the press box and above the press box, because I didn't hear it hit the roof. So the count is now 2-1 on Caroline Cripe.
Caroline Cripe had the big blast in the first game with the blast to left center. She's looking to do the same here, which would give VSU a 3-0 lead.
Definitely a big blast it was, hitting it right over the Beef O'Brady sign in left center field. She sends a fly ball. It's going to be caught in foul territory by Lincoln Memorial's first baseman, Tiffany Evans. And so 2 outs are now recorded against VSU with runners on second and first. Lindsay Lloyd remains at second base. Holly Willis remains at first base for Megan Williams to step in. See if Megan Williams can come in through the clutch here as the pitch is delivered, and it's high and outside. 1 ball, no strike. What did Megan Williams do her first time up, Sam?
She grounded into a fielder's choice.
Megan Williams for the year is batting around 184 with 1 home run and 2 RBI, but an on-base percentage of around 300. So she does get on base quite a lot. As it pitches away and outside, and the count is 2-0. It appears that Amanda Wampler is throwing a lot of her pitches away and outside to all of these VSU hitters.
I don't think she's wanting to come into the typical VSU player's power zone.
Power zone it is. I want to see a ball over that fence again as a 2-0 pitch is delivered, and there's a ground ball foul past head coach Wolbers down there as a third base coach, and the count is now 2 balls and 1 strike.
I think she was seeing, after watching the last game, seeing where all the pitches were hit by the VSU players and trying to stay out of that area.
One time through the lineup, VSU, all the hitters get used to seeing what a pitcher has to offer as the 2-1 pitch is delivered outside, and the count is 3-1. Usually the first time through an order, the hitters aren't exactly sure about what they're going to see. They nitpick and they see what this pitcher has to offer, and then next time through the lineup, they dive in right away.
They typically have more success the second and third times through.
So 3-1 pitch is delivered, and it's fouled back toward the press box again, and it's a full count now. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 men out here. The bottom half of the 3rd inning, no score as of now. Megan Williams is hoping to change that outlook. The outfield is playing Megan Williams a little bit shaded toward right, not that much, but enough to see it as a full count pitch is delivered, and it's ball 4. So Megan Williams, great at bat there, found a couple of pitches away and taking a walk. So now it's going to be up to Amanda Edwards, last game's stellar pitcher, to see if she can manage to give Elska Tenhope the runs that she needs in order to pitch with the lead. As Wampler delivers the pitch, And it's high and outside for ball one. Once again, Wampler afraid to go inside and challenge VSU hitters.
She's going to be very picky in this situations as far as the pitches she throws, and especially the locations having bases loaded.
Wampler gets the sign, and the 1-0 pitch is on the way. Called strike on the outside corner, and the count is 1-1. Amanda Edwards for the year as a pitcher is hitting surprisingly well. She is hitting .171 with no home runs, 2 RBIs, but she knows how to hit the ball. She's gotten 6 hits so far this year. As there she pops it up right past our production van, out in the corner of the lot there, and the count is now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Definitely not the count that Amanda Edwards wanted to have here, Sam.
Look for her to shorten her stride and try to just make contact with the ball.
Wampler gets back to the pitching mound, gets the sign and delivers the 1-2 pitch. It's going to be hit through the infield for a base hit. In to score is Lindsay Lloyd. They're going to hold Holly Willis at third base, and Amanda Edwards comes in through the clutch, and Valdosta State scores first into this game as well.
Yeah, all the players are contributing to Valdosta State right now, including people you'd least expect being a primary pitcher.
She hit it where the outfield had her positioned, and it appeared that it almost got caught. Almost was stopped by Danielle Soders, the second baseman, but just got through.
It was a ground ball with eyes.
Ground ball with eyes as Valdosta State now plays with the lead as Brooke Davis takes a strike on the inside corner, and the count is 0-1. Base is still loaded. Holly Willis on third as the 0-1 pitch is delivered. Swing and a miss. Brooke Davis was swinging for the fences there.
Yeah, she definitely wanted that pitch.
But came up empty, and the count is 0-2. Holly Willis is at third. Caroline Cripe is on second. And Amanda Edwards is on first base. As the 0-2 pitch, she fouls it back. Once again, swinging for the fences there.
Again, like Amanda Edwards is, just shorten your stride and you will have more success, especially when you're behind in the count.
Brooke Davis behind the count 0-2. So we see Holly Willis at third here. And the 0-2 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. So Wampler gets out of more serious trouble, but the Blazers score first on 2 hits. They get a run across the board. So as we go to the top half of the fourth inning here, Blazers now have the lead, 1-0. We'll be back with more action on VSU-TV right after this. Welcome back here on VSU-TV, top half of the fourth inning here, as the Lady Blazers now lead the Lincoln Memorial Lady Railsplitters by a score of 1-0. Up to bat in this inning for the Lady Railsplitters will be Judy Hornsby, Tiffany Evans, and Gina Grace, the heart of their lineup. So let's see if Elska Tenhope has enough energy to get by the heart of the lineup here as she delivers the first pitch of the inning. It's a strike on the inside corner, and the count is 0-1. Tenhope has done a very good job getting out of some tough situations here in the first couple of innings, only allowing 2 hits so far as timeout is being called by LMU.
Tenhope can breathe a little bit easier now that she has to lead and she doesn't feel like she has to make every perfect pitch.
Theater VSU presents the Pulitzer Prize-winning play Proof, a play dealing with a family dispute over the rights to an ingenious mathematician's proof after he dies. Come see the show, which runs through March 23rd at 7:30 p.m. in the Sawyer Theater. Call the VSU Theater box office at 333-5973 for tickets. As the 0-1 pitch is being delivered, high and tight, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. We were saying before how Tenhope has managed to get herself out of some key situations here. So let's hope for the same to happen here. As the pitch is delivered, it's going to be a fly ball into center field. It's going to be caught by a nice defensive play there by Lindsay Lloyd, the center fielder. Didn't have to dive at all. Shows you how good the Lady Blazer defense is. It's positioned exactly well, exactly right.
Lloyd shows also her range by being able to step back on the ball, seeing where it is, and be able to come up on it without having to slide or dive.
Is that Andrew Jones out there? I can't tell. I can't tell. Anyway, The first pitch to Tiffany Evans hits the ball inside on the inside corner. Wow. And the count is 1 ball, no balls, and 1 strike here as the 0-1 pitch. Same place, same result. 0-2 is the count to Tiffany Evans. What'd you do first time up, Sam?
Struck out.
Let's hope for the same thing here. A strikeout would be nice for Tenhope and the Lady Blazers as the 0-2 pitch is being given, and it's just a bit outside. The count is 1 ball and 2 strikes on Tiffany Evans.
Evans has 4 plate appearances for the day and 3 strikeouts.
Wow, that's close. Very close there, so the count is now 1 ball and 2 strikes on Tiffany Evans.
Look for Tenhope not to put anything near the plate because she does have a tendency to swing.
Here we go. The 2-2 pitch is underway, and she swings and fouls it back to the fences, and the count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes on the LMU first baseman. Tenhope, as you see, getting ready to deliver a 2-2 pitch. Done a very good job so far in the ball game, as we've said numerous times. And the 2-2 pitch is underway. Called strike 3. Beautiful position pitch there by Uska Tenhope.
Makes 4 for 5 for strikeouts against Evans for the day.
Tiffany Grace is a very powerful presence in that rail splitter lineup, but also is a hitter who can strike out a lot as well. As here to the plate now is Gina Grace, the left fielder for LMU, as the pitch is on the inside, inside, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes. What did Gina do first time up?
Struck out.
Lots of strikeouts today for Elsa Tenhope as Gina calls time. Collecting her composure, steps back in. The pitch from Tenhope. Oh, just foul. Almost an outstanding catch there by Robin Williams, the third baseman. Had she caught that ball, I don't know what I would have done. I would have jumped up and down for excitement. But instead, it's a foul ball, and the count is now 1 ball and 1 strike on Gina Grace. As Tenhope delivers the 1-1 pitch. Inside and low, and the count is 2-1 on the Lady Railsplitters. The Railsplitters have gotten 2 hits so far in Game 2, while the Lady Blazers have mustered 3 hits and have put a run across the board here. As the 2-1 pitch is delivered, and it's a ground ball right to Holly Willis at first. She'll step on the bag, and that takes care of LMU in the top half of the 4th. 1-0 Lady Blazers on top. We'll be back with more softball action right here on VSU-TV right after this.
I'll find you in the morning sun, and when the night is new, I'll be looking at the moon, but I'll be seeing you.
Welcome back here on VSU-TV. Bottom half of the 4th inning here. Blazers on top 1-0 as we get set to see. Is it Melissa Santana up for the Blazers? No, it is not. It is Christy Scheiber. Christy Scheiber is up. Melissa Santana is on deck, and Lindsay Lloyd is in the hole here as Wampler delivers a pitch that's low and outside for ball 1.
Continuing trend from last game to this game is that both teams are leaving a lot of men on base.
That is going to be called for a strike on the outside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Last game, the Lady Blazers left 9 men on base, and the Railsplitters left 7 men on base.
So that is hopefully going to be a trend that the Blazers see less of in this ball game, as that pitch is inside for a ball. 2-1 is the count to Christy Scheiber. Wampler gets the sign, and the 2-1 pitch is on the way. She swings and hits a ground ball deep in the hole, and shortstop, can she get? No, she cannot. The shortstop cannot get it over in time as Sophie Dillinger fails to get it out as Christy Scheiber gets on board with a base hit.
The bobble by Dillinger cost her the throw on first. If she had fielded cleanly, she would have gotten her out at first.
I see up there that the official scorer has given it an error on the play, so do not credit Christy Scheiber with a hit. Instead, that will be an error charged to Sophie Dillinger. And up to plate now is Melissa the Slapper Santana. As she takes a peek at the pitch, misses at a strike, or it might be a little bit outside for her. She pulled back. Looks like she pulled back at the last minute, so the count is 1 ball and no strikes on Melissa Slapper. Melissa Slapper.
She struck out and flied to center for 2 at-bats today.
The 1-0 pitch on the way to Santana. She bunts it foul, almost caught there by the catcher, Renee Carter. And the count is now 1 ball and 1 strike. Bottom half of the 4th inning. Christy Scheiber on first, Melissa Santana.
It looks like she's going to bunt, and she's going to try to drag it toward first since the first baseman has to hold the runner on.
I want to see Melissa Santana try and hit the ball over the coverage. That's what I want to see happen. I don't know what's going to happen, though. Here is the 1-1 pitch on the way. She takes it outside, and the count is now 2-1 on Melissa Santana. Lindsay Lloyd is on deck, and Robin Williams is in the hole. As we see there, Amanda Wampler walking around the mound, as there is Christy Scheiber on first base, getting ready to take off the moment the ball is in contact. Here is his windup and the 2-1 pitch. She does get it off. It's a very good bunt. Third baseman has to hurry, and she just got out. Oh, my goodness. Melissa the Speedy Slapper Santana just got out at first base. Great play there by Judy Hornsby to get a gun over to first base and get Santana out.
Runner in scoring position with 1 out left. This is a key opportunity to extend the lead and give Tenhope some more breathing room.
Tenhope has pitched a brilliant game so far. Hopefully she won't need any more breathing room with the way she's pitching there, as the first pitch to Lindsay Lloyd is called outside for ball 1. What has Lindsay done today, Sam?
Lindsay has a walk and a single and was stranded on second.
So 1-1 today for Lindsay Lloyd. So you see her little meeting getting together on the mound. Judy Hornsby getting together, telling Wampler about how a particular pitch will be made or how she will be covering the third base part of the infield. 1-1 is the count to Lindsay Lloyd as Wampler comes to the stretch and delivers the pitch. She swings and sends a ground ball to second base, fielded by Danielle Soders, thrown onto first in time for the 2nd out of the inning. But go ahead.
Progress is still made by advancing the runner to third. Get him on, get him over. Now we just have to get him in.
Amen to that. Amen to that. And here is a big bopper, Robin Williams. What has Robin done today, Sam?
Robin Williams has a ground out and a strikeout.
Let's hope for neither one of those, as Wampler gets the sign and delivers the pitch. She hits a little blooper into left field, which will be caught by the left fielder, Gina Grace. So we threatened here in the bottom half of the 4th inning, but came up empty. 1-0 is the score. We've completed 4 innings. Back with more action here on VSU-TV after this timeout.
Give me a fish, and you'll feed me for a day. Teach me to fish, and you'll feed me for a lifetime.
Through Volunteers of America, you can help change lives in your community. Find out what you can do. Give us a call.
Welcome back here on VSU-TV. Top half of the 5th inning here. Blazers still leading 1-0. For the Lady Blazers, 1 run on 3 hits, no errors in Game 2. For the Lady Railsplitters, no runs with 2 hits and an error committed in that last half inning here. Elska Tenhope pitching a brilliant game just like Amanda Edwards did in the first game. Let's see if she can keep it going here as she faces Cassie Schutt to lead off the 5th inning, and it's delivered high and outside for ball 1.
I believe this will be a critical inning for LCU, simply because they have not scored any runs through 11 innings, and I think their hope is starting to dwindle.
Hopefully pitching and defense by the Blazers will help to keep on that trend. Keep on that trend. Here is the 1-1 pitch. It's a little blooper that's going to be caught by the second baseman of the Blazers, Brooke Davis. Excellent play there by Brooke Davis. The infield was positioned exactly right, and Tenhope has got to love the production of the defense behind her. So with one out here in the top half of the fifth inning, batting now for the Lady Railsplitters is Brianna Ebbinghaus. As she delivers a ground ball that gets past the third baseman onto the shortstop. Great play there on both ends, the give and the go.
That was a great play by Cripe going the other way and being able to throw across her body, and a wonderful stretch by Holly Willis.
Absolutely outstanding play there. Kailyn Cripe, like you said, got that and had to throw across her body, had to stop completely and then turn around and then muster enough energy to get the ball across, and she did. And Holly Willis, great job there. As the pitch is high and away to Sophie Dillinger, as we see there, Elskaten Hope walking around the mound, recollecting her thoughts there, as she hopes to lead the Blazers to a sweep in this doubleheader this afternoon. As one pitch is delivered right down the middle for a strike, 1-1 is the count. What did Ebbinghaus do, or excuse me, what did Dillinger do the last time she was up, Sam?
Flew out to short.
Let's hope for the same thing here as 1-1 pitch is delivered. Swing and a miss for strike 2. I saw that pitch curve. Way up here in the press box, I saw that pitch curve.
Tenhape appears to be in the groove, getting flyouts and groundouts.
She is in the groove, definitely in the groove, as she strikes out Dillinger to end the top half of the fifth inning. 1-0 Blazers. We'll be back with the bottom half of the fifth inning right here on VSU after this break.
Life may not be as easy as pushing a button, but with e-file from the IRS, your taxes can be. So ask your tax preparer or visit us on the web.
Welcome back here on VSU-TV. It is indeed a great day to be a Valdosta State Blazer, as the Blazers won the first game 5-0 here and are on top 1-0 here as we approach the clutch time here in the second game of the softball doubleheader. Holly Willis is stepping up to bat. Right now on deck is Kailyn Cripe, and Megan Williams is in the hole here as the pitch is delivered and Holly Willis swings and misses for strike 1. What did Holly do first time up, Sam?
She has walked every time.
So no official at-bats yet for Holly Willis. Hopefully things will change here as the 0-1 pitch is on the way. Holly Willis strings and hits a foul ball past the first base side. I had a chance to talk with Holly this week in practice. She was doing a quick hit drill where balls were being tossed up to her at about 2 seconds of an interval, and Holly said that improves your eye coordination. It gets your hands to get through the zone quicker. So let's see if those quick hands help Holly here as she is down on the count 0-2, and here is a pitch. Takes it low and away for ball 1.
The fundamental rule in all sports is being able to keep your eye on the ball.
Keeping your eye on the ball and having quick and strong hands to get that bat through the zone here. Wampler gets the sign, and the 1-2 pitch is on the way as Ellis swings and fouls it back to the fence, and she's still alive. 1-2 is the count. So there you see Holly Willis trying to collect her thoughts as Wampler walks around the mound. Chess matches always occur between pitchers and hitters in baseball and softball. Wampler gets the sign, and the 1-2 pitch is on the way, and Willis swings and hits a fly ball out of the stadium, and it's still 1 ball and 2 strikes. Willis is up. After Willis, it will be Kailyn Cripe, who is displaying power this afternoon, and after Cripe, it will be Megan Williams. So we are set, and the 1-2 pitch is being delivered, and Holly once again swings it foul. Foul ball after foul ball here between Holly Willis and Amanda Wampler.
Willis keeps on whittling away at the pitcher. Don't be surprised to see a base hit coming up.
Wampler gets the sign, and the 1-2 pitch is on the way. Holly Willis swings and hits a very hard shot right to the second baseman, Danielle Soders, who in turn promptly flips it to Tiffany Evans for the out. So Holly Willis is retired, and that brings Kailyn Cripe to the plate. Of course, Kailyn Cripe is most remembered for that blast she hit right above the Beefo Brady sign in left center field in Game 1. What has she done in this game, Sam?
She's been 0 for 2.
Let's see if she can get her bat back to where it needs to be as the pitch is delivered. Caroline swings, it's a ground ball. Nice play there by Judy Hornsby across the diamond in plenty of time, and 2 are quickly retired here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Up to bat now is Megan Williams, the catcher. Megan is the junior from Acton, Ontario, Canada. Good old Canada. Good old Canada. Here's the stretch and the pitch. Amanda swings, hits a little measly dribbler. Nice play there by Hornsby across the diamond in plenty of time. And that puts a wrap on the 5th inning here. 1-0 Blazers as we go into the 6th inning here. We'll be back with more softball action right after this break on VSU-TV.
You go through life being protected in a lot of ways. If you're an investor, your personal safety net includes the Securities Investor Protection Corporation. Aren't you glad we're there for you?
Welcome back here on VSU-TV. 2 more innings to go, 6 more outs to go before the Blazers sweep today's doubleheader from the LMU Lady Railsplitters. The 3 people up to bat this inning for LMU are Brittany Walker, Danielle Soders, and Renee Carter. Up to bat first will be number 12, Brittany Walker, their center fielder. Sam, what has Brittany done at the plate today?
She's 1 for 2 with a single.
Let's hope that Uskaten Hope can manage to retire these 3 batters in considerable amount of fashion. There's a bunt attempt on the play as Uskaten Hope gets it right in time.
Good defensive play by the Blazers. Holly Willis came up to cover, and second baseman had good reaction time in getting over to first.
Looks like we have an argument brewing here between the LMU coaching staff and the first base umpire, but it matters not, as the umpire has already ruled that Brittany Walker was thrown out. That was a really nice play there by Uskaten Hope to get the ball over there in time.
You know, that's why they go to spring training and practice, are those very situations where you have a soft ground ball and everybody has to rotate over.
Obviously, the LMU fans who made the trip from Tennessee are not very happy with that call, but they will have to learn to live with it. You're in hostile territory, so you won't get the breaks like you do at home. Here is Danielle Soders at bat, and she takes a pitch away, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes.
She struck out in her last plate appearance.
Uskaten Hope gets ready for the pitch, and it delivers it, and it's called strike on the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. Both Amanda Edwards and Uskaten Hope have done remarkable jobs this afternoon in limiting the LMU offense.
And they've been the aces of the staff.
As it's hit deep into left field, but right there is Melissa Santana with the catch, and Brittany Soders is retired. So 2 men are quickly gone here in the top half of the 6th inning. That brings up Renee Carter, one of the big bats for this LMU team, as LMU is looking to put a run on the board for the first time in both games.
That was a good catch by Santana, fighting the shadow, which can be as much of a problem as the sun.
It can be, especially when you're trying to find a ball that goes from the sun to the shadow or vice versa. As you see Renee Carter there getting set. Tenhope with the pitch. Fouled back to the screen by Carter, and it is now 1 ball and 1 strike. Tenhope has done very good controlling the speeds of her pitches, controlling where each pitch is going to end up, and quite frankly, I'm very impressed with the way this Blazer team has played this afternoon. As the 2-0 pitch is delivered inside, and the count is 3-0 on Renee Carter. I was talking to some people during the break, some of the Lady Blazers themselves, and I kept on asking them, how can you be 5-21? You guys look like you're a very impressive ball club. As the 2-1 pitch is being delivered high and outside, and the count is 3 balls and 1 strike on Renee Carter. Top half of the 6th inning here. Blazers on top 1-0 in a very low-scoring ball game. As Tenhope gets the sign, and the 3-1 pitch is going to be called for strike 2. on the inside corner. Tenhope likes the results of that pitch. The Lincoln Memorial coaching staff, however, does not. So a full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and Carter is walked by Tenhope. So Carter is now at first. That puts the potential tying run on it at first base for the big bopper. Here comes Tiffany Evans. Excuse me, Judy Hornsby. Judy Hornsby is now batting. Definitely the powered person for this Lincoln Memorial lineup. She's already hit 7 home runs and driven in 20 runs. So look for the Blazers to be extra cautious in this situation. Wanting to maybe not exactly give Judy Hornsby the pitches that she likes to hit.
This is going to be a critical time for the Blazers. They have 4 more defensive outs left, and the Lady Railsplitters do have a runner on.
The pitch by Tenhope is strike one. Looks like an off-speed pitch there by Tenhope.
If Tenhope can get this player at the plate, she'll breathe a huge sigh of relief getting out of the inning and have 3 outs left for the Blazers' second consecutive shutout.
Here is a 1 pitch by Tenhope. Strike 2 on the outside corner, another off-speed pitch. It looks like Tenhope knows that Hornsby likes to hit those balls out across the plate. So she's being very picky in where she's delivering her pitches, as the 0-2 pitch is delivered high and outside, and the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Tiffany Evans is on deck, and Gina Grace is in the hole there, as we see Renee Carter at first. No, we do not see Renee Carter at first. The pinch runner is there. We will get to them in a minute, as Tenhope delivers a pitch inside and tight, and the count is 2-2. Pinch runner is now in for the Lady Railsplitters, as Brittany Parton has checked into the ballgame to take the place of Renee Carter.
We saw her in the first game. She does have very good speed.
As that is not what Tenhope needed to have happen. She just hit Judy Hornsby, and now the potential tying run is on second base in the form of Brittany Parton.
And now the question becomes, if you're Coach Weldon, do you get somebody warming up in the pen?
Coach Wolbers is in fact going to come out there and talk with Tenhope right now and try and calm her down just a little bit. This Thursday, the Office of Alcohol and Other Drugs will present the Safe Spring Break Fair from 11:30 to 1 p.m. on the Palms Quad. There will be information and demonstrations on ways to have a safe and enjoyable vacation. There will be free food and door prizes to be given away, so you do not want to miss this. That is this Thursday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on the Palms Quad. What do you think was in that conversation at the mound there, Sam, with Coach Wolbers and her Blazer team?
I think she was just trying to, refocus Tenhope. She's pitched a great game so far. Just concentrate on the hitter and not the runners. With 2 outs, it's all about the hitter. And it's just focusing on the catcher, focusing on the hitter.
Let's see if Uska Tenhope can live up to her standards of being a very clutch pitcher. As in steps Gina Grace, runners on second and first. 1-0 Blazers here, as Tenhope with the windup in the pitch, and there's a fly ball that's going to be caught by the shortstop Caroline Cripe. 1 pitch, and that's all that's needed.
And we go to the 7th inning.
We go to the bottom half of the 6th inning here. 1-0 Blazers. We'll be back with more action here on VSU-TV right after this.
Learn which trees to plant at arborday.org.
Help the Arbor Day Foundation plant more trees across the nation. Plant a tree today for all the world to share.
Go to arborday.org.
Welcome back here on VSU-TV. Bottom half of the 6th inning here, as the Blazers lead over Lincoln Memorial 1-0. As the Blazers really need to get an insurance run or two here in the bottom half of the 6th inning to avoid having to crawl and get across the victory here this afternoon. As batting right now for the Blazers is Amanda Edwards. As Wamper gets set and the pitch is delivered, it's a fly ball hit out to deep center field. Back, and it's gone! Home run for Amanda Edwards, and we get that insurance run I just talked about. What a hit by Amanda Edwards. She looked at the first pitch and promptly blasted it over the center field wall, and just like that, it's a 2-0 lead for the Lady Blazers. Talk about that approach that Amanda Edwards just took.
Amanda Edwards' day, having the 5-0 shutout in the first game and have both the RBIs, including that blast to center field in this game. Blazers are up 2-0.
Blazers needed that insurance run, that's for sure. So now we can breathe a sigh of relief here as the VSU Lady Blazers take a 2-0 lead on an Amanda Edwards solo home run blast. As Amanda Wampler throws a first pitch ball to Brooke Davis, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Brooke Davis was trying to hit the same area that Amanda Edwards just hit. And the count is 1 ball and 1 strike.
When all the Lady Blazers came out to home plate to greet Amanda Edwards, I believe the first one there was Ten Hope.
I wouldn't be surprised to see that Ten Hope wants to get a lead, more of a lead there. Ten Hope has definitely pitched one heck of a ball game this afternoon. That ball was outside, and the count is 2-1 on Brooke Davis. Here is the stretch and the 2-1 pitch. Tight and inside, 3-1 is the count on Brooke Davis. I'll take some more insurance from 1, Sam.
I'm happy with the 1.
Well, I'm happy with the 1 too, but we can never be too cautious. We could always use some more runs. As the 3-1 pitch is delivered, swing and a miss. And the count is 3 balls and 2 strikes on Brooke Davis. As there you see Amanda Wampler trying to recollect herself after allowing that home run blast to Amanda Edwards.
Watch for Davis to shorten her stance and try to make contact.
Here is a full count pitch. I believe that was 2-2 count. So this is the full count right now. 3 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. 2-0 Blazers, thanks to an Amanda Edwards solo home run here in the bottom half of the 6th. Here's the stretch and the full count pitch. And Brooke Davis sends a fly ball. It's going to be caught on the infield by Sophie Dillinger, and 1 out has now been recorded. Up to bat now for the Blazers is Christy Scheiber, the 5'8" junior from Sylvester, Georgia. What has she done today at the plate, Sam?
Walked and reached on an error.
So officially no at-bats for her yet, as she steps in looking to get a hit to keep this inning going for the Blazers. As the pitch is being given, and it's a strike. 0-1 is the count. Scheiber digs in, looks intently at Wampler, and here is the 0-1 pitch. Inside, and the count is now 1 ball and 1 strike. Lady Blazers leading in this game 2-0. As there you see Scheiber. Here is the stretch and the 2-0 pitch. She fouls it away to the screen, and the count is now 1 ball, 2 strikes. Amanda Wampler looking in to get the sign. She has one she likes on the 1-2 pitch. She swings, and it's a fly ball to deep center field. Back goes the center fielder for Lincoln Memorial. Yeah, my thoughts exactly. But Brittany Walker does get back there to make the catch at the warning track. And there are 2 outs now in the bottom half of the 6th inning. But hey, I mean, Christy Scheiber put a charge on that ball, Sam.
She really did. Got her at about 185 feet. The problem, this field is 200 feet around.
All softball fields are 200 feet around. Not like baseball where the size can vary. All dimensions are 200 feet. As Melissa Santana steps in, she takes a first pitch ball outside. 1 ball, no strikes. What has she done today at the plate, Sam?
1 for 2.
1 for 2. Let's make that 2 for 3. As Melissa gets ready, the 1-0 pitch is on the way. She swings, it's a ground ball straight up the middle through for a base hit. Sam, I'm a psychic. I'm a psychic, Sam. I said let's make it 2 and 3, and what does she do? She makes me look good and gets a base hit. So 2 men are out with Melissa Santana, the speedy slapper on at first for Lindsay Lloyd, this center fielder. What has she done today at the plate, Sam?
Walked and singled.
Walked and singled. So here's the stretch of the pitch. And she sends a rocket almost caught by the second baseman, Danielle Soders. And she must be hitting herself right now because she had that in her glove and it just squirted out.
The Blazers are really seeing the ball right now. And after that home run, confidence is contagious.
Confidence is very contagious now with 2 runners on it, first and second. They have their big bopper up, Robin Williams, as she gets set to hopefully give the Blazers some more insurance runs here. As Robin Williams steps up to the plate, 7 home runs, 25 RBI this year for Robin Williams. Amanda Wampler gets the sign and the pitch to Williams. High and outside, count of 1 ball and no strike. Robin Williams in practice this week addressed how she hits the ball, and she says that she has to strive to be more of a contact hitter. I need to put the ball in play more and not strike out as much. And here's the 1-0 pitch, and it's high and outside. 2 balls and no strikes. I believe I speak for all Blazer fans when I say to Robin, don't strike out now and put that ball in play or we can get the speedy slapper in from second base. As there we see Robin Williams getting set for the 2-0 pitch. And she slinks it right to the third baseman. What a great grab there by Judy Hornsby, who just recollects herself and steps on the bag for the force out at third. So 3 more outs to go before a Lady Blazers sweep of this doubleheader. We'll be back on VSU-TV with the final inning of play right after this.
Today's teenagers, they believe in themselves and America. So each year, over 200,000 kids continue their education, learning leadership, self-confidence, and pride in today's military, making a stronger America, one good kid at a time.
Welcome back here on VSU-TV. 3 more outs to go before the Lady Blazers complete a sweep as they start the main part of their Gulf South Conference play against Lincoln Memorial today. They won the previous game 5-0 and are 3 outs away from winning this one 2-0. What an inning it was for Amanda Edwards getting a home run to help Euskatan Hope as she hopes to get a complete game 2-hitter just like Amanda Edwards did. As we get ready for the 7th inning here, leading off for the Railsplitters will be Gina Grace as she sends a ground ball to second base, picked up by Brooke Davis onto first base in time. And so 2 more outs to go before the Blazers have themselves a 2-game winning streak.
The Lady Railsplitters have the bottom portion of their lineup coming up, which is not good when you need at least 2 runs to tie.
At the plate now is Cassie Schutt, and she takes a strike from Ten Hope, and the count is 0-1 quickly on the LMU right fielder. Ten Hope recollects her thoughts and delivers the 0-1 pitch, high and tight, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. I think the Blazers would have been caught off guard by that bunt had Schutt been able to put that down. So we will see what happens here as Ten Hope gets ready to deliver the 1-1 pitch.
That's the disadvantage of failing to put down a bunt is you lose the element of surprise, and that is what has happened in this case with the Lady Railsplitters.
That last pitch was the ball outside, so here is the 2-1 pitch, high and outside, and the count is 3-1. Ten Hope needs to realize that she can afford to be a little more out there this inning. She doesn't have to be as cautious as she was the past 6 innings because now she has a 2-run lead. And the 3-1 pitch is inside on the inside part of the plate, and it's a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 1 Lady Railsplitter already out in this part of the 7th inning. Ten Hope with a full count pitch, and there's a pop-up just outside the fence here at the North Campus Complex. So we will do that pitch all over again. Casey Schutt for the year for the Lincoln Memorial Lady Railsplitters is hitting .244 with 3 home runs and 9 RBI. So she does have power. So the Blazers need to realize that basically all of these Railsplitters have power, but not there. As Ten Hope gets her to look at a called third strike, and now we're 1 out away, Sam, from shutting out a very dangerous LMU team. The final hope for the Railsplitters will be number 25, Kristen Hutchison, as Hutchison takes the place of Brianna Ebbinghaus. So the Blazers are now 3 strikes away, Sam, from getting a doubleheader sweep in today's game.
Not only that, a doubleheader shutout.
Tenhope with the pitch. She swings and sends it foul back behind the screen, and the count is, well, excuse me, she got hit by the pitch. No, it was a foul ball, like I said before. Well, the umpire is really confusing me here, Sam. It looked originally like it was a foul ball, and then Hutchison started to walk like she had been hit by a pitch.
The pitch was inside, and it hit off the end of her bat near her hands, and the umpire saw it as a tipped ball.
Oh, okay. So we are back now with the 0-1 pitch. It's on the outside corner, called for strike 2, and the Blazers now are 1 strike away from winning 4 out of their previous 5 games. Strike 3, and the Blazers are victorious, sweeping LMU today. The first game was a final score of 5-0, and now they complete the sweep with a score of 2-0. So, on behalf of Sam Mount, and all of the production team here, I am Neal Folger saying once again, final scores: Blazers win 5-0 in Game 1 and 2-0 in Game 2. We will see you again on VSU-TV in the near future. Until then, good afternoon and God bless.